Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gad, your host. The purpose of this Archangel card video, as well as another video that will follow, is there's a client who has a powerful Leo energy following him. It's communicated to me. I believe it communicates to the person as well. This person also has gifts herself, as you'll see in the reading, and her dreams. So we definitely want to know who this Leo energy is. Now, you're looking at Archangel Haniel, and we will be talking more about the picture you're looking at. That was a picture chosen for this particular Archangel card reading. Now remember, if you're listening to me right now, that means you have to be online, unless you download it. So all you have to do is hit a search engine, because I always say the card, and I always say the title of the card. So it's that easy to pull it up. Now, my main concern was who's a Leo, because what it is, I deal with a lot of people, and you see a lot of people just go with emotions, and I keep saying you can't just go with emotions. You have to go with the mind and the heart. That's the twin flame. If you don't have that balance, if both people don't have that balance, you're going to have what you see out here on YouTube, which is a lot of people searching, but they never seem to make that connection. That's why it's hundreds of thousands of twin flame videos out here, and divine masculine videos and divine feminine videos, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So everything in life, you can do things for experience. Like some people just take the journey, and if you want to spend your resources and walk in the wilderness, do the Hansel and Gretel, and hopefully the bread is still there so you can get back to where you came from, it might work out for you. But usually if you don't start somewhere with both logic and feelings, you're not going to end up somewhere beneficial. And then a lot of times you have makeup or breakups, or you have people that sleep around with everybody. They're sleeping around with their soulmates, waiting for the twin, and blah, blah, blah. Then they get with their twin. That might happen one, but then they go back into separation. See, if you understood the stages of a twin flames relationship, you would better handle it when it came your way. And believe it or not, even if you're in separation with your twin, if you two aren't getting along, if you understand the stages, maybe you could find a unique way to reach out to your twin and get some type of dialect going. And if your twin is always going to be problematic or even an a-hole, then they're not ready. So no matter what you do, it's not going to happen. So you can cry, you can get 1,000 different readings, you can blame the reader, you can be mad at the world, but if that person is too immature to get some dialect going, it's not going to happen until that person's ready. And they'll be mad at you if you move on with your life, but you'd be a fool to sit there waiting for somebody who's obviously not ready for you. So these are just facts. And there are some people out here on YouTube to tell you the truth. I'm one of the foremost that do so. That's why I'm hated so much. But these are just facts. So instead of spending all your resources and your energy and your emotions, which you're going to hear in this reading as well, and I'm not saying it, it's the angel saying it. Instead of spending all that time on something that's not going to happen right now, you could actually be connecting with someone or something that's happening for you right now. So it's all about focusing on what's available for you right now. And that's what this reading will be about. The Archangels did a wonderful job. Now, this person wanted to ask a lot of questions that they previously asked. And I added a whole lot of questions too, because like I said, it's just human nature. This is my point. Guys like me, it's almost like when you go into like when you used to watch Baywatch. Remember, the lifeguards are there to help. Guys like me, we're here to help. But It's the humans that have their own way of looking at things. So they think everything is ego, everything is selfish, because sometimes that's how they think. So they just assume that's how you think when you're trying to help. And you see a lot of people. Like I said, I see the darkest in people, but you still come out because, again, I was sent. Everybody's here for a reason. The best readers, they're here for a reason. They were sent. They didn't just wake up one morning and say, hey, I'm going to do this. Not the real ones. Not the ones that actually care. So it was important to try to get a grip on who this Leo energy is. Just to find out, where are we at? Where are we going? This will never just be feelings. It'll never just be. Even if you meet somebody in your life and at first it's feelings, at some point the logic's going to hit in. Reality's going to hit in. Maybe your first argument or some reality or whatever. Or the in-laws or something. Somebody might have a dog and the dog doesn't like you. Or there's going to be some reality at some point. It's not always going to be flying around on clouds having sex all the time. Or on the beach rolling over in the sand. And once you realize that, guess what? You're closer to getting that if you want a long-term relationship. Once you realize what I just said, you'll be so much closer to that long-term relationship. Because every day is not going to be full moons and fireworks in the sky and sitting on in the grass over a pond or a lake of water and, birds chirping and singing you a love song in a tree. It's not always going to be that way. And when you're mature enough to accept that, you're ready to go. But what happens out here, and you see it on YouTube, everybody's going, what about me? The ego takes over. What about me? What about where's my twin? Why isn't my twin talking to me? What about me? What about my life? What about this? What's going on in my life? So it's so selfishness. So what the universe does is sends real teachers. And a teacher's job is to try their best to slow you down. Even if you get frustrated. Like I said, let's just say you want to be an MMA fighter. Now, if you go to a real trainer, his job is to show you how to really fight. Not just inside that ring, but to deal with the politics and everything outside the ring. That's why when you see these guys get into it, don't you notice they call out the trainer? Now, the trainer's not fighting you. Why are you calling out the trainer? Because they understand what I just told you. So my job is not to just say, because like I said, if we had all the answers, we wouldn't be here, would we? So whether you come to this channel or somewhere else, you're out here looking for something. These people are out here looking for something. So the real answers is, first you got to get your mind right. Whenever you have any type of energy calling out to you repeatedly, that's first and foremost. Who is that energy? Who is that Leo? And right now, August is a very powerful month for Leo. We just had the Lion Gate. And for anybody that has a significant Leo on your chart, especially sun sign Leo like me, you know you've been going through hell for over 2 years. Because when I'm listening to other people on YouTube, the good astrologers, that's what they say. Oh, Leo. Oh, we know you've been going through so much. Oh, things are about to get better for you, Leo. So they know what's going on in the universe. So you have to know all this. And I try to teach people how energy works. Because if you have some type of connection to that Leo, you're going to feel that energy. And this is a powerful Leo connection that she has. And she's not the only one. I know another person that has a powerful Leo connection. But she could be a little stubborn sometimes. She's good, though. She's really good. I'm not talking about this client. I'm talking about the other one. But it's not just she's stubborn, it's just that she gets hurt. And she doesn't like getting hurt. But again, if you're listening, less chances of you getting hurt. Like, you have to understand, when your twin does want to talk, that's a plus. Even if it doesn't go down well. Like, if you really understood the twin flame stages, like I try to teach these people, it's not supposed to go well, people. Not at first. So again, first we want to find out who this Leo energy is trying to contact this particular client. And then we want to answer because she wants to answer. She wants to ask questions she asked before. And I was wondering why she did that. But then I learned a lot. I really learned a lot this second time around. It was interesting. Very interesting. And I always want to thank I got to take off my hat and thank the Archangels because their love, oh, is so loving because I've been so busy. And they were there for me even early this morning. They were already there because where I lay at is also where my little place for my Archangels are. And I have different Archangel cards, different arrangements. And they'll always come out. They'll find a way outside of those cards. So I'll wake up in the morning with angel messages that are just sitting, or they already came out the cards. Like I might be rolling over in bed and a sheet might hit but it always happens. And even the cards that come down give messages. And even when I was shuffling the deck to do this particular reading, the cards just kept falling out with wonderful messages. So what I'm trying to tell you, when you learn how to be patient, and you're going to hear Jophiel say it again in this reading, when you learn how to breathe, like believe that's Raphael, it tells you how to breathe. When you learn how to breathe, learn how to get your smile back. See, you don't want to be a old school Shawn Michaels. You never want to lose your smile. Even if Bret Hart hits you kind of hard, you never want to lose that smile. And you never want to get so serious. Because I was going to say that too. A lot of people bring their problems home and you direct that to your children. You don't want to do that. They're kids. So you got to learn how to turn it on, turn it off. And it's not easy to do, I know. But you have to learn. Yeah. It's Archangel Raphael, the breathe card. Because he came up as well. In fact, to be honest with you, it's 45 cards in this deck. The Doreen Virtue Archangel Oracle card. I think 44 cards came out. I think it was only one by the time I asked all the questions. And I want to thank the Archangels again. Because sometimes I start to worry. I'm like, do I have to reshuffle this or what? But no, they did an excellent job. They really did. But they've done it before. The Archangels never cease to amaze me. So you got to be really committed to this. It can't be a side thing. Because sometimes that's why they do what they do. They don't give you the answers you're looking for because you're not committed. You have to be really committed to this. All right. Now keep in mind we are under a full moon. Because Hannah is going to tell her about the moon cycles. And it's very important she gets that information. The full moon will be at 8:31 a.m. tomorrow, August 15th on Thursday. But it's powerful. That moon's been speaking to me. Beautiful. Just beautiful. It's already bright and shiny at night. All right, so let's go in. And they gave excellent advice on her relationship. And I asked a whole lot of questions too. Because I'm very interested in the Leo energy. I just want to know what that energy is. It's very powerful. So I guess we'll go right down the line. So these are questions she asked before. And I did include her other questions. She asked a question about the Virgo. That's in here as well. First question, what do I need to know about myself right now? And the Archangel that answered your question is Sandalphon. Pisces energy, gifts from God. So you definitely have gifts. We know you have dreams, you have gifts. So they're really telling you to focus a lot more on your gifts. Open your hands to receive your gifts. So then that was her next question. How can I open myself up to receive more abundance from the universe? So she didn't really ask about the spiritual gifts with this question. This was about abundance. But Zadkiel, which is a Gemini energy, answered clairaudience. So he took you back to your extrasensory perceptive gifts. So you got to be working on that. Got to find time. And like I said, it happens. It's not fully our fault because we do have to work jobs. And then if we have family, and then we may have some other stuff going on, might be going through a divorce or separation. But we have so much going on. But it's so essential that you work on your calling while you're really here. Because see, that might be part of your life purpose, going through a divorce or whatever it might be. But you're also here for a spiritual calling. This is why the universe gave you these gifts. And if you ask me personally, and I'm always going to say this, people don't have to agree. But your gifts are always more important because people are going to come and go. That's just a fact. And it's sad that people are not mature enough to realize that. But our life is fragile. People are going to come and go. Your gifts are eternity. Your gifts connect you directly back to source. So that Kyle told you, because you asked about abundance from the universe, well, he's telling you to tap into your extrasensory perceptive gifts. Because again, you could actually help people, and they in turn show their appreciation for the help you help them. Just like you see all these people doing out here on YouTube. Now, Michael, the Archangel, wanted you to know that you are safe. So then you ask, and remember, she's asked these questions before. So we're just going over them again. They were answered, but we're going over it again. What kind of financial mindset and animal and attitude have I inherited from my family? This is a question she's asking. So ironically, Uriel came up, Uranus energy, and said you already know what to do. So Uranus is talking to you inside of you. And also Uranus has a lot to do with soulmates and twin flames. So we will be looking at your chart here. And we'll also have another video because we're going to do the full moon video with her chart. So you asked what kind of financial mindset and attitude have you inherited from your family? And somehow Uranus energy, which is Uriel, the Archangel, is basically telling you to go inward. And there's a reason for that. That's why we're going to check your chart. But then ironically, Ariel, the Aries energy, said to spread your wings, ready to fly. Spread your wings. So that was interesting, because that could have different definitions. But first, let's go to Uranus on your chart. Now again, if anybody wants to see the chart I'm looking at, it's going to be the very next video on this channel. You're going to see two charts. One is the full moon, and one is her chart. See what happens a lot of times, and there's a danger in it. But you meet a lot of lazy people, and they really think you're going to do everything. Now, first off, my prices are way lower than probably anybody out here on YouTube. And I do that for a reason, because I'm actually trying to help people, not just rip them off. But we can't do everything. And the more you learn how to use your gifts and not be lazy, the better off you'll be. Because this is how this works. Let's just say you go shopping. When you've learned how to tap into the universe, you're going to have all kinds. You're going to have animal messages. The sun might tell you something. The moon might tell you something. You might just be driving your car and something will go streaking by and you'll know that was a warning. Let me just give you a perfect example. One day I'm sitting in a drive-thru at the bank, minding my own business. And it's early in the morning. I'm trying to be the first customer. Sitting there minding my own business. And those birds were going crazy. It's a little brown bird, and they're very connected to the universe, and they're definitely messengers. They will fly in your house when there's something that they're trying to warn you. Little brown birds. And they're not no cowards. People think because they're small and no, these birds, I studied these birds. After I got those messages, I made sure I studied those birds. They're not cowards. But they're very small brown birds. And those birds were going crazy, crazy. And all of a sudden also strange things. Like, you know how you have your receipt from the bank? You get out the ATM machine. So it's always some of those things flying around in the bank parking lot. Because, you know, people just drop them. So I saw some strange stuff with the receipt. Like, what those birds were was a little hedge by the drive-thru. But they were coming in and out, going all crazy. And they were very close to the car, which birds normally don't do around here unless you're real close to the beach. When you're close to the beach, the birds will fly right up to you because there's a lot of food out there and they see people all the time and they know they got to get close to get the food. So they're not afraid of you at the beach. But away from the beach, the birds don't fly that close to you, usually. So those little birds were going crazy. So then I watched that paper, the ATM receipt. The wind blew it, but the paper itself did something very strange because it actually went against the wind. And that paper is too thin to go against the wind. So I just got a feeling something's not right. These birds are going crazy. And when I just saw with that paper, something's not right. And keep in mind, I'm at a bank parking lot. And that bank's been robbed a couple of times. And I'm out there by myself. So at that moment, this pickup truck comes speeding in to the drive-thru, but they're going to the ATM, but he stops, which I thought that was strange because I'm watching everything. So the one guy gets out and goes up to the ATM machine, but the truck stops. So I'm saying, why didn't he just drive up? This is some crazy stuff. So all of a sudden, the guy that was in that truck jumps out and starts coming towards my car. I'm like, what the, what's going, like, what is this? So I'm no dummy. First off, I never keep things visible. So anybody trying to look in the car, you ain't going to see nothing anyway. Second off, everything's locked. Because, see, I'm not one of these. Everybody thinks they're a tough guy until guns get pulled out. And either you're gonna get shot, you're going to maybe lose your life, you're going to get robbed, or you're going to try to fight. You think you're a tough guy and you're going to get beat up, shot, and you're still going to get robbed anyway. So this guy's headed towards me, and I'm just looking. So he kind of looks in the car real quick, talking about, you all right? You all right? And I just look at him like, yeah, I'm all right, So he just looked at me, and he backed up and went on back in his truck. Now, without going further into that, but like I've been around here, this area my whole life, so it's not a lot of fear, but I'm not stupid either. Like, I'm not going to try to be no hero. But I just let that dude know quick, bro, ain't nobody scared of you, back up. Nobody asked you to come over here. So that was because the birds let me know. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known. I probably would have been asleep. Because that's why he ran over, because I'm just late. I'm like a really relaxed dude. I'm just waiting for 9 o'clock, make my transaction, and get out of there. And it's early in the morning to me, and I'm always working, so I'm always tired. So I'm just laid out. But I couldn't go to sleep because the birds was like, they were going crazy. Like, you better stay awake. Something's about to happen. So when you're connected to the universe, this stuff happens. This is not a joke. But when you're not connected to the universe, you're thinking from your ego. You're thinking from your flesh. You're thinking everything's a sale pitch. But if everything was a sale pitch, my prices would be a whole lot higher than they are. I'm out here helping anybody that wants to be helped. Basically. But a lot of people are on a lower vibration. And as long as you're on that lower vibration, nobody can help you. Because even if the universe brings you your twin flame or whatever you're looking for, you're going to mess it up. Because it's going to be your own selfishness, your own ego that messes it up. This is why these archangels are so important. I know what they did for my life. And this is why you have to know this information. Because obviously if a Leo is going out of its way to make a contact or a connection, there's a reason for it. So right now, they took you immediately to Uranus. Now on your chart, and again, everybody, this chart you can see, it'll be out here. You'll see the full moon August 15th, and you'll see her chart to the right. And of course, everything is confidential. See, now notice your Uranus is in your 7th house. So that's your relationship house. So we have to be careful. And just so everybody knows, Uranus and Ariel are kind of like friends, because Ariel is a fire sign, and she's the bravest of all the archangels. She's the warrior. Uriel is called the friend of God. Now, Uriel corresponds with planet Uranus and rules over Aquarius. And Aquarius is a air sign. So why is Uriel called the fire of God, but he rules over an air sign? But Uriel and Ariel are good friends, and a lot of people may not know that. But if you really are really true to this, you would know that, because when you do your reading, you can see it. So there's a lot of fire here in what you're asking about the family. But then she says, spread your wings, and she's ready to fly like in the air. And Uranus rules over Aquarius, which is an air sign. So there's a lot of messages here. But the one I'm going to try to tell you right now, I might tell you some more, but see, family mean well, but don't let family interfere with relationship, because that's in your relationship house. That's where Uranus is. And we did your numerology before with the 2333, and like I said, that number 33. Let's this time I just want to do 33 first. But I know for a fact they're advising you not to let family teachings affect your relationship. And that's why I said some people, like you guys probably never heard this song, but many years ago, a guy named K Solo wrote a song, Your Mom's in My Business. She's in our business. Tell your moms to stay out of our business before I let you go. So he was trying to tell her, how are me and you going to have a relationship and grow if your mom is always in our business? So it does come a time, and I know a lot of families don't understand that, but the person you're marrying or the person you're trying to be with, you guys got to set up your own family. You're going to have your own kids. And sometimes we're too connected to our own families that we mess up the person we could have been with. And I'll tell you why more I'm saying that. You just have to be patient, because it's a lot of information. Right now, I'm more interested right now in numerology. And again, whatever's being said in these readings, it needs to be said. Because again, this isn't bubblegum astrology. You don't just get a quick reading and then go on with your life and do whatever you're going to do or don't do and all that. This is the think. Because until you start to use the brain God gave, because we do it everywhere else. Don't say I'm a bad guy. Because let's just say you work, if you're in any real profession that requires you to use your mind, I bet you use your mind then. Because you're darn sure not going to walk into no authority where you haven't prepared. Because you know what he'll do. He's going to chew you out because you came in front of his presence and you willfully didn't prepare. Willfully. So you're disrespecting him, whatever that, the room, whatever. You're disrespecting everybody. So he's definitely going to make you pay for that one way or another. He might throw that case out and have you refile everything. But yet you walk into your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife, oh, they should put up with me. But you know not to do that anywhere else. Everybody else gets the respect, but not that person. The person you're supposed to be in love with, that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and all that other stuff. So this is what we do to each other on this planet. So like I said, the universe sends people like me and others. They tell it like it is. because you have to change the mindset if you want it to work. Because otherwise what you do is play the victim role. Oh, woe is me. All men are dogs. Oh, all women are dogs. Oh, it's always somebody else's fault. And that's why I said we don't do lazy on this channel. We do it more like everybody does something. Because that's what a real teacher does. He's going to tell you to take notes. You know, if this was a classroom, you'd be taking quizzes and tests. Like, that's what a real teacher does. He's trying to prepare you. That's what a real trainer does. When you walk in the gym and say, hey, listen, I want to fight, a real trainer is going to teach you everything. Not just inside the ring, outside the ring. Because otherwise you're going to walk in, hey, I want to be an MMA fighter. And if the trainer don't care, like I said, some of these people out here on YouTube just take the money and run, so to say. You're going to get in a real fight. You're going to get your head handed to you. Because you're going to fight somebody that has a real trainer, and they're going to knock you out and hurt you. So when you're really ready for this, it happens. That's why I said I'm in a situation now. Because I'm always doing some type of personal reading myself. So I always have an idea what's going to happen. Or just a general idea. Like it's a situation now that a person regularly comes to my door. At least once or twice a week. And that could easily escalate to something, you know, going out or a date or whatever. But I'm only aware of that because I'm tapped into the universe. All right. So what we want to do now is a couple of things we want to do because this is about the 7th house. And again, no matter what readings you get, if you're not working on this stuff yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. So you have to make time. Because like I said, again, if you wanted to make more money, you'd find a way to do it. Oh, you know, I have my job in the daytime, and then I'll come home, and I'll go online. But you would find a way to do it. That's why I say don't give the relationship part of your life the dirty end of the stick, because that's what you're going to get back. All men are not dogs. All women are not dogs. But what are you putting out? You understand? If you're putting out shit, what do you expect to get back? That's why I said here, take notes. Here, look this stuff up. Here, don't be afraid to go right along with me. If I say Archangel Sandalphon, gifts from God, all you got to do is click it. And you be looking right at it. Like it's not a restaurant. I'm not supposed to just be a waiter. Like everybody's got to be motivated. And that's how you get it. That's why I say that's one of the reasons why I'm still alive. I just left a message to one of my in-laws who's been with the family now for 21 years. And I left him a message because it gets rocky. You know, a lot of crazy people. It gets rocky. So I had to just let him know a couple of things. But the bottom line is, if you could still say you're healthy, you're moving on. I had a great day at work yesterday. Finally got to return to work. I was with my boss a lot of the time. Had a great day. So you have to know these things. And you can only know that by not being lazy and not thinking somebody else is going to get it or it's somebody else's fault. Otherwise, you'll go through your whole life saying, oh, you know, so-and-so did this to me. Everybody's going to play the victim card. Oh, this happened to me. And this so-and-so did this. But we never look at how we fail to do our part. So that's why I'm very, very, very intense on that. Like, you got to make sure you're doing your part, too. Because if it was anything else you wanted to do in life, you would do it. You would give it 100%. Let's just say if you want to, let's say the person you go before, let's say if you wanted that person's job. Say, well, I want that job. I want to be that. You would do whatever you needed to do to get wherever that person is. So if you have that same mentality for life, not just a selfish jobs or more money or prestige, if you had that same energy for a relationship and stuff like that, you would see better results. But then again, some people, they really don't want to be in a long-term relationship. They act like they do, but they really don't want to. So I've seen people be in relationships and they figure a way to get out of it one way or another because they just want to try something new or whatever it might be. So we really got to be honest with ourselves. What do we really want? Things like that. And you have to understand it's a universal law. Like, I can't just hurt another person. You know, I can't just lie to a female and just use her and then, oh, now I went out of, because you're going to pay for that. Like, that's universal law. Even if you understood the laws of Mayat, that's one thing you can't do. You can't just use another person and break their heart. That's like a universal no-no. That's why this could never be bubblegum astrology, because I'm going to tell you again, and I always say this, you're going to answer. We're all going to answer for whatever we do or don't do. You're going to answer. So you just can't do, like, a lot of people think it's okay. Oh, I've been married 7 times and it's okay. It's okay. It's not okay. You got to answer for that. All right. You got to universally answer for that. All right. So now we're looking at these numbers, but the main number I want right now is the number 33. Really quick. And I know some of the stuff we went over before, so you can call it a refresher if you want. But because Archangel Uriel takes us back here, that means they're trying to tell us something. Okay, so the number 33, once again, religious is spiritual. Religious is spiritual. These people are caregivers, nurturers. Just so you know, the number 23 is a number for Sirius constellation. And Sirius would be the goddess Isis. And then you have Osiris, which is Orion constellation. And Orion constellation just came back into our night skies, I believe. Or early morning. I forget when it's, but it's definitely out there. Either early at night or I forget when. But it just came back. Just became visible. So it said 33 unselfish people. They're driven. Very supportive, very kind. So they like to serve humanity. They could be spiritual leaders, therapists, teachers, counselors, and they're nurturers. All right, so that was a 33. Now hopefully they also do mean 23. I don't know if they do, but if not, we're gonna look somewhere else as well. I think they do it. Nope, they don't. This one doesn't. Now they say 23 can be either a companion or be alone. They could be very diplomatic. And you got, yeah, because see, you got that with, is that where your Uranus is? Let's look at your chart again. Yep. See, again, with 23, you got to be careful because Uranus is the same way. It dips in and dips out. And see, this is with Scorpio. Because whenever you see like the freedom in the 7th house, it's just that you have to be careful. Why? Because the 7th house is really supposed to be about companionship. Now don't get me wrong. Let's just say you have a profession where you're very busy and you're in a relationship with somebody in that same profession. So y'all may understand that. Like, baby, you know, we're both really, really busy, but we'll definitely, you know, figure something out. We actually work in the same building. You know, I'm a couple of floors away from you, but we can, you know, for lunch, whatever. You know, but they may understand that because they're in the same profession. But it's just hard when you have you know, like 23 can be erratic, so can Uranus, out of nowhere. And, you know, people don't understand that. Because I remember one time I was trying to date a long time ago, and I met a female, and that was the main thing she wanted to let me know immediately. You know, I'm a grown woman. Now, keep in mind, this is something she went through. It had nothing to do with me. I just met her. So don't think I was trying to bully her or nothing like it. Was nothing like that. This was like the first date. So the main thing she wanted to let me know was she's a grown woman. Ain't no man gonna tell her nothing, and she don't gotta check in with no man. And excuse me, because I'm over here laughing. I'm sorry. And she ain't gonna check in with no man. And if she wants to jump in her car and go to Atlantic City, she'll do it, and she ain't gotta tell nobody nothing. So you can't be that independent and that free spirited in the seventh house. Because the question is, why the hell would I want a relationship with somebody that's basically telling me I'm going to be single, I'm going to be single, I'm going to be single? You don't mean nothing to me, and blah, blah, blah. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, maybe if I had been a great guy to her, maybe she would have came around. But I've done that so many times, and I'm at the point now where I just don't have time for that. So if you want to talk like you want to be free, then go be free. Be like the birds. Go fly in the sky. I don't have time for that. I got stuff I can be doing with my time than trying to make you feel a certain way or believe stuff that you're going to turn out and do what you want to do anyway. So it is what it is. So when you see like all these sudden things, even Scorpio is a lot of power struggle. Scorpio is a lot of power struggle, a lot of emotional stuff going on there. And remember who showed up. Uriel and Ariel showed up. Uriel and Ariel showed up. Now, I'm not done because I'm just answering your question, but I'm trying to just do the research because we're really going to have to answer that question. Because I was trying to avoid it, to be honest with you. But the more I look at your seventh house, because that's where they took me, the more you can understand why that could be a problem. But we got to get to the bottom of it. Because we are going to talk a lot about subconscious too. Because Archangel Gabriel was very, very concerned about subconscious. Because like I said, it's just people play the victim role. It's always somebody else's fault. And that's just very immature. But that's Scorpio. Scorpio is very emotional. Not necessarily a bad sign, but Scorpio is very watery, very emotional. And they'll duke it out. Like, they'll duke it out quick. And they don't forget nothing. They're very vindictive, tick for tack. They're very schemy. They'll set you up. Very psychic. You got your hands full if you're dealing with that type of Scorpio. So what my strong advice would be, understand the seventh house. What is it supposed to be about? And you have to ask yourself, is that what you're looking for? Are you ready for that? Because if you're going to talk relationship, it has to be relate, not dictate. It has to be relate. And a lot of this came up on your card reading too. That's why I said when you guys hear me, I'm not just talking to hear myself talk. I'm speaking based on the energy coming off of these card readings and natal charts and stuff like that. Because otherwise, if we don't be mature enough to deal with it, then all you're going to have is everything you see out here on YouTube. It's like a free... And these people like in their 30s and 40s and stuff. It's not like they're kids. And they're mad because somebody is man enough to tell them, okay, we got to grow up a little bit. Now, I'm not saying be boring. I understand how important it is to have love and stuff. But it's not going to happen if you're going about it in a 5th grade mentality. What you have is break up to make up and sleeping around and cheating and jump in bed, and now you don't even know why you jumped in bed with the person. Because you especially see stuff like that with twin flamers. Somebody's telling you that was the greatest sex I ever had in my life, and somebody's telling you I've never had experience like that with another person, and they still don't want to be with you. And you're sitting here scratching your head going, why that? Now, that didn't happen to me because I never connected with my twin like that. But I deal with thousands of people. And I hear that. You know, she told me it was the greatest sex I ever had. And then she didn't even call me after that. And then she never heard from her ever again. But that's twin flames. So you want to get to the point where you can be a little bit more mature so that you don't do that. And I'm going to tell you guys again, this is deeper than what your family told you. This is deeper than what you think. You're dealing with universal law. A lot of you guys don't even know what the confession of Mayat is. See, when you're talking about Sirius and Isis and all that, and Egypt and all that, where you're getting all this information from, that's Mayat. The confessions of Mayat, the 42 confessions of Mayat. And you can't just break a person's heart. You can't just use a person sexually. Like, you're going to pay for that. So in the 7th house, there might be some flipping around going on. With Uranus and 23 and Scorpio. But really, the 7th house ideally should be about relationships and partnerships. Now they're saying that just if you just had Scorpio in the 7th house, it may not be a bad thing, but it's that Uranus retrograde and that 23 degrees that could really make it challenging. But they definitely say it could be obsessive because, like I said, with Scorpio, it could be obsessive. It could be power struggles. It could be stalking, suspicions, doubt. Because Scorpios can be very suspicious, very negative thinking. Not once they trust you, they'll stop doing it. But up until that point, yep, they're saying you could be too deep, too controlling. You can scare them off. But then they say you might be. They say, but a Scorpio in the 7th house will actually try to find somebody that's just as deep as they are and stuff. But then that person scares them. Now they say normally Scorpio in the 7th house scares people off. This is what Astrology Club is saying because they're too deep, too compulsive, and everything. But they say what happens though, the Scorpio will try to find somebody like them, and then that person will end up scaring the Scorpio off. Now, you don't always find websites that deal with retrogrades in the Western world. The Hindu websites will sometimes deal with. When I say retrogrades, I mean like Uranus retrograde in Scorpio. You may not find like a Western website that does that. And sometimes you may find somebody on YouTube that does it sometimes. So what we do, we go to just doing Uranus retrograde. And this is just anything coming out of anywhere. See, it's just like there is just a lot. It's just way too much out of nowhere in the seventh house. And we got to remember how we got here. The question she asked. So like I said, things coming out of nowhere, expect the unexpected. It could be chaos. It could be anything. It could be something that makes you feel good. It could be chaos. So if a person is normally quiet, they all of a sudden they become loud. If they're normally loud, they all of a sudden they become quiet. Uranus retrograde. But now this person, the problem with Uranus retrograde is a person has extremes. And this is why you're going to see, I told you, Archangel Gabriel gave you a lot of advice in this reading. Because this person may not have they don't have a middle ground. They don't know how to compromise. They're extreme. They're extremely too hot or extremely too cold. But they don't know how to compromise and live and let live. And these are things they have to learn, especially in a relationship. Because that's why I said a lot of people are mouthing off and they're blaming other people, but it's not the other people. And you have to be mature enough to realize that. And the universe is going to send you people that are going to tell you the truth. Because if not, your whole life will be, oh, so-and-so. Oh, no, so-and-so. Oh, if somebody had it, oh, somebody. But it's never your fault. It's never nothing you could have done to improve your life. So you have to really realize, like, if I see that in the seventh house, I'm going to be very aware of that. Like, even me, like, I've learned a lot. But you got to understand, if I had had this information when I was younger, I'd be a totally different person back then. But I didn't have this type of information when I was younger, so no way I could have known, but now I have it. So really, when you have that information and you have a better understanding of men and women and the differences and stuff like that, and just life in general, you have to ask yourself, are you really ready for that? Or are you ready for everything that happens, from the meeting and going out or whatever, and arguments or whatever? In some cases it's the marriage, but then it's the breakup and the divorce and all that stuff that comes. Are you really going to be ready for all that? And if not, are you going to prepare for all that? Like, what are you preparing for? It's just that you have a more realistic viewpoint. But the good news is you start to hold yourself more accountable instead of thinking it's somebody else's fault. All right, so it's not too much more we could do with the seventh house right now. And I think this was only like the second question asked. Okay, it was the third question asked. So they're already showing you that the financial mindset and attitude that you inherited from your family somehow is affecting your seventh house. So that's the first thing we have to do. See, your seventh house is really supposed to be about you and the person you're in a relationship with. So really, no disrespect to family, but they really shouldn't have too much to say in that. I mean, even the scriptures tell you the man leaves his family and connects to his wife. So a lot of times we make that mistake. We try to take our parents' family or our parents' suggestions into our family, and that's a big mistake. Because you actually should be starting your own family with this person. And Uriel says you already know. Because Uriel deals with your inner you. That card deals with that inner you. And also Uriel really deals with soulmate, like I told you, in relationship stuff. A lot of people don't know that, but that's planet Uranus. Because your soulmate is supposed to make you see a different world than what you're seeing. That's that Uranus energy. And that Terry Nasan teaches that, because that's who taught it to me. And Aries is all about aggression. But Aries is trying to tell you to spread your wings. So it's almost like she's telling you to get away from them. She's telling you the same thing I am. Get away from any mentality like that, because otherwise your seventh house is going to really be one of undesirable intensity. Because really, the seventh house, that should be where you guys can talk it out, work it out, and have some type of affection, some type of mutual. Because even the seventh house is supposed to be like business partners. But you can't have business partners if you two are always at each other's throats or arguing or just coming out of nowhere. Like the person don't even, because you're just coming out of nowhere, so they can't even too extreme. No middle ground, no compromise. So those are all areas that have to be worked on. So what kind of financial mindset and attitude have you inherited from your family? Well, basically they're saying as far as the seventh house goes, you got to do some rework, some retweaking, because it can't be so off the top, coming out of nowhere, and all about your freedom and stuff like that, that you're not able to be partnership or working together. And plus, remember, the seventh house is also about law as well. So under those circumstances, it could even become a legal matter. Okay, then you ask the question, is my career right now suitable for you? And Azrael came, which is the 10th house, which is career and reputation. And it says, hello from heavens, and it mentions your relatives in heaven. So the question was right now. And that would kind of be an affirmative, but you also got to remember your earlier suggestions was to be more spiritual as well. And you also see it in your 7th house with Scorpio, which is very psychic, very that type of spiritual stuff, like tarot cards and stuff. And you also got the number 33, which is also a very like spiritual number, psychic number, because as in Freemasonry, they claim that 33 is the highest you can go, the highest degree. But some people say that's not true. You can go higher. I wouldn't know. Then you ask the question, what type of career would you have for your soul purpose? And Raphael came and said health, diet, exercise, and rest. But also remember, like I said, anything you see out here with these people on YouTube, these psychic and card readers and stuff I do, it's still the same Raphael. It's the same spirit, because you're healing people. You know, even sometimes if people don't like if they don't like how I deliver, I'm still pushing them, whether they like it or not. Because this will burn. Because I know what it did when I first got this twin flame stuff. It definitely burned and burned and burned. So being pushed by the universe is part of your progress, believe it or not, whether you like it or not. Second card says Chamuel. Again, what type of career will be for your soul purpose? Chamuel, which is Taurus energy, said, beloved one, soulmate. He's helping you find your soulmate. Now remember, Taurus or Chamuel also deals with career transitions. And remember, Taurus, which I believe is your sun sign. And that's why I say the karmic reality, the karmic. Now, on my channel, Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444, you see that karmic report I did. And you heard about the sun, your sun sign, how it has to do with your soul purpose and stuff like that. So your sun, your soul purpose, and it's your first house. So all that was covered in your karmic report as well. And well, not hers because she didn't order it, but in the karmic report. But you do see Taurus. Now remember, Taurus is going to be about, it rules the second house. So this is going to be about finances and even mentally being focused on finances with Taurus. And your moon sign is there too. And I think they said your moon sign is like your past life as well. So it's almost like you're getting a second chance at finances and the material things, because that's what Taurus is all about. But also being patient. And then it said Ariel. So Aries came again. And she said courage. So for some reason, it really focusing on your first house. And your 12th, because Aries is there. And then you have Mercury there. Good communication, good thinking. At 25 degrees, which is the law. And then Curious is the nurturer as well. So it appears that they are telling you that part of your purpose here now is to have a second house Taurus mentality. And that is finances, possessions, and your value system. But they're still advising you to be spiritual as well. And you see people out here on YouTube doing it. Because you see a lot of people out on YouTube, they have a lot of numbers, a lot of followers, a lot of support. So they're able to do stuff like that. And it's great because they could be home more and then be with the children more. And, you know, they don't have to worry about a boss telling them this has got to be done and this and that. So I think you'll be going through progressions. And you have to be honest with yourself. What do you really want? Because like I said, in the 7th house, your 7th house is basically saying it's all about you. Now, whether that's your personality or not, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying based on the numerology and everything like that, you're basically saying it's all about you. And the 33 said the 33 could be unselfish, but remember that is just one number. But the majority of your energy in your 7th house is basically going to be somewhat, even if you don't mean to do it, even if it's subconscious, but it's basically what about you? And maybe you might be that way because maybe in a past life people took advantage of you, or maybe even in this life. Because what took us to that house was your third question when you asked about family. So sometimes, like I said, I'm not saying she was, but sometimes if you're in a family where you were constantly being told what to do and kind of being bullied, so you want to try to get away from it to get your own identity, your own self. And another reason why Raphael may have shown up for this question about what type of career for your sole purpose, because he's telling you to make sure you stay healthy. Don't burn yourself out. So then we asked the question, where will I meet? Or she asked the question, where will I meet my soulmate? Zach Kyle came out, Gemini. He said teaching and learning. And I don't know, for me, that just felt like some type of class. Jeremiah came out with Scorpio. He said life review for healing. See, he's agreeing with me. Because your Scorpio is in your 7th house of relationship. And you're asking a relationship question. So they're saying that you have a lot of healing to do. And that's why I keep saying that goes back to subconscious and stuff like that. You got to be very honest with yourself. And you got to really look at yourself and deal with a lot of stuff. Which the Archangels, they say that throughout this reading. So I'll wait till we get to more questions where they started to tell you that. Then Samuel came out, said Taurus energy again. But this time the dove showed up. And he says peace. And he told you to remember that only love is real. So you ask about a dove, a Taurus in your questions too. And so your sun sign is 23 again, and so is your moon sign. So 23 is a diplomat, but it can also be very chaotic, come out of nowhere, just like Uranus. And then Raguel showed up. He said Sagittarius energy about clairsentience. Now, what that means, clairsentience, is you got to really be connected to your archangels and connected to spirit, because they'll be showing you. Like you'll really kind of know. Like when you really let this stuff work, it really does. And like I just talked to a person, the other person that has a whole lot of Leo stuff, because she said she went out. She said, and I told her it was going to happen though. That's why she told me. She said you were right. She said I went out and guys, all kind of guys kept coming up to me asking me for my phone number and stuff like that. So that's that whole clairsentience. You can kind of tell it's coming. The universe will let you know. And I've had planets do it too. You got to really believe this. You got to really be tapped into the energy. And that's why I said when people are at a lower vibration, they do themselves a disservice. Because you got guys like me, this is all I do. It's like when you say, oh, I got to find somebody. Let me call the best investigative system in the world. That would be like me. It's just a fact. So you don't play that out. You don't play that source out, because the universe is watching you. And like you may be at a certain point where you're frustrated or you don't care or you don't believe it. And you try to direct the energy to somebody else who's actually trying to help you. The universe is watching the whole thing. And I'm going to keep trying to say it. Like, if you go in a court of law and you go before a judge and you kind of have like that type of attitude, he's going to sense it, or the judge is going to sense it, he or she. And they're going to make you pay for that one way or another. They might fine you. You're going to pay for it. Or they might take your case and throw it to the back case. And they might drop your whole case and make you refile. It's a lot of stuff they could do to just show you we don't appreciate you disrespecting us or this courtroom. It's the same way with the universe. Because you have guys that are actually trying to help, and you just feel a certain way. Maybe you got other problems and you just be like, oh, I don't care. But that energy you're sending out is going out into the universe. It's not just me, because like me, I'm a big boy. I'm always going to be taken care of. But it's the signals you send out. And like I said, you got to remember, you're dealing with tons, not just archangels. It's just 15 of those that we know about. But you're dealing with tons and tons of spirits. This is all a universal network. And all these individuals are helping you, whether you believe it or not. But most of us, when you're at a low vibration, where's me? What about me? Why can't I find? Why? But you're not doing what you're supposed to. And I see it all the time. Because the new thing now, all these lazy people that I've been dealing with for years, so they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do what they're supposed to. They just want fast results. So what they're doing now, they just go to a person that connects them into the spirit realm, and then they get fast results. So, I go to this person because ever since I go to that person, I got money and all of that. Yeah, but who's the source? Who's the source that's giving you that money? Because anybody knows nothing comes easy. That's the universal law. Like with work comes rewards. But you can't just sit back and think somebody else is supposed to get it for you. That's why I say one of the first things I tell everybody is you got to do something. That's why I love what I do. I have a classroom setting, like an old school teacher. If you listen, just like that, like if you go in the gym, it's that old trainer. This dude's been he's been in the boxing ring with some of the greatest fighters in the world. He knows everything about that. He's been doing it most of his life. You'd be a fool to look at him and say, oh, look at that old man. What that old man going to teach me? I'm 22 years old. What that old man going to teach me? Until you get up in the ring with him and he smack you in your face a few times. And you realize, and you start to remember what you heard about that old man. No, that was a dude. He fought everybody. If he got knocked out, you best believe he got a rematch and came back and either won or at least gave that guy a real good fight of his life. This is one of the best guys ever step in a ring. So when you come with that humility and you listen and learn and do what your training tells you to do, there you go. Now all of a sudden you're winning fights and you can't believe where you're at. It's the same way with out here. All this stuff is real. Let me just give you an example for anybody that's listening. Let's just say the pre-you. This is the pre-astrology, pre-archangel you, the pre-getting your heart broke you and all that. Let's go back to the days when you were green behind the ears and you were naive. And you get in relationships and that you give a lot. So you think, oh, I'm going to show this person I really want this to work. And the more you show this person you really want it to work, the more they hurt you and cheat on you and break your heart. And it gets so hard on you, you just don't want to date no more. You just give up. So now finally you meet the archangels somehow, maybe through twin flame or whatever, but you meet the archangels. So now these archangels start to go with training you. And you might don't appreciate it. You're mad at the archangels. You're yelling at the archangels. You're just mad because life has not been the greatest when it comes to the heart department. You're just mad and hurt. So they got to deal with you anyway. They're still trying to teach you to get you to the point where you stop being afraid, stop being scared and all that. But it takes a long time. Depending on how hurt you are and how much you believe. It takes a long time. And you finally, because what I learned is you got to go back to laughing. Because I notice a lot of people don't want to laugh. So that's your biggest mistake. And a lot of y'all bring that same stuff you go through home to the kids. When really, when they're just little kids, you should be coming home with love and happiness. They're just little kids. But you bring that pressure of your job and all that into the little kid. So what I'm trying to tell everybody, you got to learn. The more you start to trust these angels, you stop worrying. Because like that's why I know I'm a Leo. And that's one of the reasons why I got the crap beat out of me. Because I keep fighting. Because I'm going to try to figure out a way. You ain't no way. You're either going to trust the spirit or you're going to keep on getting, your health's going to keep on getting worse and getting worse. Everything's going to get bad. But the moment you start to trust spirit, all of a sudden you start to see. And that you're going to hear these archangels tell you again. In this reading, you're going to hear them tell you again. You got to learn how to trust spirit, trust the angels, call out to the angels. You got to learn how to, same thing, like if you were a Christian, they tell you the same stuff. Learn how to trust spirit. Because once you start to trust spirit, see, when you were young, you didn't care because you didn't know no better. So you went out, you dated, you did whatever you wanted. You could care less. If something happened, you bust out laughing because you were young, you were dumb. You could care less. But as you got older, you know, paying bills and in trouble or cops stopped you and going to court, now you care. Now you're worrying about everything. Scared to death. Of course, when you get in a relationship, it's the same thing. Because you're like, what is this person going to do? I don't want to. And you're worrying about every freaking thing. You've lost it. Because all you do is worry. So you got to get back to the point where you breathe, like Raphael says. And you got to really trust spirit. And if you're dating a female, like I'm just using a female because I'm a male. If you're dating a female, you ain't got to sit there and worry about everything. Just be honest and be upfront. And she could either take it or leave it. Like, it's certain things you have to learn. Like, don't jump into a relationship so quick. Because sometimes in the old days, you would dive in and give your heart to somebody and they don't deserve it. And plus, the more you give your heart to that person, you look like a puppy. You know how a puppy, when it wants attention and is looking all sad and stuff, that's how you look. See, she's not going to respect that. You have to have your own thing. Like I'm trying to tell y'all, and this is so true. You could be a dude that don't have jack. But if you got confidence and a little bit of attitude, she'll still respect that. Believe it or not. It's just something like it's just a female. I'm not saying every female is like that, but it's just something about a female where the confidence. But it's the insecurity that if she senses it, is like she's not gonna let you forget it. So sometimes you're trying to be humble. It may not go over well. Sometimes you're too concerned, too worried, it's not going to go over well. It's just sometimes when you just get to the point where, listen, it is what it is, whatever. Now she can respect that to a certain degree. Because you're honest and you honestly don't care. Like you honestly don't care if she's impressed or not impressed. For some reason, she could respect that a lot more. So sometimes you've been hurt so much, but until you can get to that point where you're saying, this is what I am, this is what I got, this is the situation, it is what it is, like it or leave it. And they can respect that. Or if you two have issues and you're more strong to talk it out, they can respect that. But people can't respect somebody when they're needy. Even if you could be a great guy, you could be a great female, but you just want to be in love so bad. You just want to have a family so bad, and you're projecting this energy on that next person, and they're not ready for it. Like earlier, we just said Scorpio in the 7th house. They could be so powerful and so intense that they chase people away. So you got to get to the point where you breathe and just let it go. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. I remember 1995, I used to love to go out on dates. Greatest thing, I just used to love to go out on dates. But after the beatdowns and the beatdowns and the beatdowns, it's like, oh, hell no. Nah, whatever. And I'm telling you, if y'all knew how many times the universe has sent people to this door. Like, somebody told me in the 1980s, oh no, a person could be sent to your door. I was like, man, that's impossible. Nobody's just going to be sent to your door. But I've seen it. There's one time a female's car broke down, like right out in front of the house and shit. And she came to the door. And it was early in the morning. And I was rushing to get to this job, and I had to get there because I had been missing days and stuff. And I knew I couldn't miss days. So I tried to help her best I could, and then that was it. I left. Like I had to go. I had to go back home and get ready to go to work. And she came back to the door again and stuff. And I wouldn't come back out the second time. So she got mad, and like I had gave her a gas can or something, so she threw it. She threw it in front of my house and just left. She threw all the junk that was in her car in front of my house with the gas can and left it because she was mad because I wouldn't come back out. But I couldn't because I had to get to work. So I've seen it all. I've seen it all. So that's why I say your mindset and your emotions have got to be ready. Because it's not the universe. It's not women are bad. It's not men are bad. It's not that the universe hates you. Your mindset has got to be ready. And that's why they said healing. Jeremiah, that Scorpio card about life revealed, is Scorpio taking you right back to your 7th house again. And he's saying healing. And then Chamuel says only peace is real. And then Raguel says use your extrasensory perceptive gifts, clairsentience. So that's how you'll find your soulmate. It'll be somewhere where there's teaching and learning, Gemini energy. And see, your Gemini is in the 2nd house, which is still Taurus energy. And your Venus is right there at 0 degrees. It just entered the 3rd house. And whenever I see that, like whenever I see it right at 0 degrees, that means it could still be in the 2nd house. All zero degrees means is at the first point in the 1st house. But when it's that close to the border, it could still be in the 2nd house. And remember, Libra, who rules your 7th house, or Jophiel, is ruled by Venus. And Venus rules Libra and Taurus. And we're just getting started because I haven't even gotten to the relationship questions yet. So now this part you'll like a lot. Because we talked about that Taurus. And basically she asks, how does the Taurus feel about her? Who am I to the Taurus, she basically said. The card that came out is the most romantic of the 45 Doreen Virtue Angel Oracle cards. Haniel came out with the sensitivity card. Okay, just one moment, because here in New Jersey, the fishermen reeled in a massive record-breaking fish. He's from Philadelphia. They keep saying a record-breaking fish off Camp May. Now I want you to know I'm nowhere near Camp May, but they still call it the Jersey Shore. But a lot of people, when they say Jersey Shore, they think about us, Monmouth County, like Bruce Springsteen and Freehold. Well, he's from Freehold, but Bruce Springsteen used to play, it still does, at the Stone Pony, which is right there in Asbury Park. And that's the Atlantic Ocean, and that's like the Jersey Shore. So most people, when they think of Jersey Shore, they think of like Bruce Springsteen, Bon Jovi. But Camp May is also, that's how big the Atlantic Ocean is. Camp May is also the Jersey Shore, but it's nowhere near where I'm at. It's almost 2 hours away from where I'm at. All right. So that was just then. I just saw it. So I thought I'd throw that up in there real quick. All right, give me one moment. Okay. Let's go back to the question again. Okay, so you ask, basically, the question you're asking is, how does a Taurus feel about you? So Haniel, sensitivity, the most romantic card. So right now, if you're on your computer, you can go right to I'm at Yahoo search. You can go to any search engine and type in Haniel and type sensitivity. And when you hit your image section, make sure you're dealing with your images. She should come right up, and there she is. Most beautiful card and the most romantic card. Very beautiful card. I'm looking right at it. And she's like the high priestess of the Archangel Oracles, Doreen Virtue. So that card is telling you you're very sensitive right now. But the main thing is telling you to answer your question is that's the most romantic card, so he really cares about you. And now, this is what you have to hear. So I hope you hear this point, because they gave you a lot of information, and we're just getting started with those archangels have for you. So we're nowhere near finished. But I will tell you this: you have to learn to be gentle. Now, what does that mean? See, a lot of you women don't realize that a lot of these men that are your twin flames or your soulmates, they're indigo children. Say, well, it's a grown man. It doesn't matter. He's still an indigo child. He's also a crystal child. These are very sensitive men. So what happens is, you females are looking for, your man. You're a knight in shining armor. Oh, I want my man to come and just take me off my feet and take me in his arms. Now, these men want the same thing that you do, but they're indigo. They're sensitive. And what I'm trying to tell you, I just explained that to you if you were listening. But you guys are not listening because you're selfish and you're not hearing what I'm saying. The guy is going out of his way to connect with you, but you're looking for something else instead of just appreciating him for who he is. And it's not me being a wimp or me being a whiny, broken-hearted Leo. I'm trying to tell you, this is what the universe has sent you. And in some ways, if you women could just understand that, I'm not talking to every last one of you, so don't sit there getting offended. If you could just understand that the universe is sending something that you guys asked for. Because if you go way, way, way back, when the women were staying home, and the men were coming home and treating them like second-class citizens and maids, which is why they rebelled. You asked for men. You asked the universe for men that weren't so aggressive. You asked the universe. You didn't want a caveman who just saw a woman as, get behind me, woman. I'll take the lead. I'll take the charge. So now the universe sent you all these sensitive men, indigo men, intuitive men, and they're not all that aggressive. They could be, but they choose not to be. They would rather you just be there for them, and they be there for you. But women don't understand that. So now women are saying, why is he so? But what you guys got to understand, like when a guy really cares about you, like a lot of men don't want to argue with women that they care about. But a lot of women, they have to see it. They have to feel it. They want to see everything. Because I know, even like the women in my family, like relatives, they want to talk about everything. Like me, I'm kind of quiet. Like I'm an old school dude. Like, you know, they'll show up, you know. Even like you heard me talk about my boss. That's how I work. I don't do a lot of talking. I just go do the job. And my boss had to learn that about me. But my boss really likes me for those reasons. He's gotten used to it. I just go get it done. I'm not going to go, hey, listen, I'm going out to the back. There's something back there. And I'm probably going to have to grab a few. I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to go do it and be done with it. And you'll go back to be like, who cleaned that up? Oh, Gary? What? Yeah. And they know it. Like, they know now. It took them a while to get used to me. Because, like, I'm an old school dude. Like, I'm not a young dude. You don't got to sit here and follow me and watch me and all that silly stuff. I just get it done. So a lot of these guys are like that. But a female, she likes the experience. So that's kind of difficult. Because she wants to see it. She wants to talk about it. She wants to feel it. But a lot of these indigo children and crystal children, they may be more quiet. And they're more like, so she would have to slow down. Because that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a female that comes in this door like at least 2 or 3 times a week. And she's so, but she's cool. I like her a lot. I don't want you guys to think I don't like her. I like her a lot. But she's real cool. Like she's real, like she's real like slow motion type of person. And it's like, this is the East Coast. Where people ain't trying to hear all that BS, man. Get to the point, man. So, and me, I just feel like I'm walking on dynamite. Because every day I ask myself that question. Are you ready? Because when all this twin flame stuff was going on, I had a heart-to-heart with God. Because I was in a lot of pain. Twin flame is like the most painful thing that you go through. And I had a heart-to-heart with God. And all God basically said to me was, are you ready for it? And it's the same thing that Michelle Knight, one of the greatest astrologers on the planet. She says, love is right there if you're ready. Today you'll find love if you're ready. And ask myself, am I ready? And like I said, I talk a lot about my personal twin flame, who I got to meet from 2014 to 2016. But before her, it was another female. And that female kind of prepared me for the hell that my twin was going to put me through. So the point being made is if you're not ready, then you're only doing yourself a disservice and that person a disservice. And me, Leos are very honest. Well, at least I am. I can't speak for everybody. I got into it with this dude I hit. Well, I didn't really get into it. But it's a dude out here named Dolo, King of the Moors. Now Dolo's cool, no disrespect to Dolo. But and he comes around, you'll see him. Like he goes all over. So you could actually see him in your city walking around. Because he'll be right up the street. This is no lie. He'll be right up the street. And he's a very esoteric person, and he knows astrology. He's really fortified. But his experience with Leos was Leos are liars. And I took offense to that. I said, I don't lie. How dare you? So I was really mad. But Dolo don't play. Dolo will run up on you. So I had to apologize. But no, I don't. So this Leo over here, we're all about the truth. Even though I don't expect other people to be honest. Because I know it's very honest. It's very hard to be an honest person. But if you're not ready, you're not ready. And that's the bottom line. Because you have to be ready for all of that. Because even if a female is acting a certain way, like both my twin and the female that the universe sent before her, they both just were drama queens. But if I had been more the old me, I could have got through that easily. But the newer me I don't want no friction. Like I don't want no drama. I just don't want no friction. I've been around it too much on this planet, and I just like my space and I like my peace. But if you're going to date or a relationship, you may have to deal with somebody who likes a little drama, likes controversy, likes to talk shit, likes to say stuff, just to say it. Because my sisters are like that. My Dukes is like that. Like a lot of females, they gotta have that. They gotta have that communication going. Especially out here in Jersey, my part of New Jersey. So if you're not ready for all that, you will be a fool. And I've learned, don't even initiate. Because it don't take much. That was something another female had taught me. It doesn't take much. It could just be eye contact. You might work a job and a female might need a pen or pencil to write something down. And you might just hand her a pencil. It's just a nice thing to do. But she may take that a different way. So you got to be very careful. Just things I learned. Like even at my job I'm at now, it's a female who thought I liked her. And I don't like her. But then that became a problem. Because she actually thought I wasn't interested in her like that. At all. So you got to be careful of all these movements and all this stuff you got to make. Because all of a sudden your freedom is being infringed on. Because now you got to start answering stupid questions, or your employee might just see. Because where I work at, it's a guy who recently got arrested for a certain crime, and we can't have that. Now they let him work there because this came out in the newspaper, and that's how people found out. But when this happened, my boss was on vacation, so I was saying, I wonder what my boss is going to do when he comes back. Because his lower management, they let that guy continue to work there. But see, we can't have that. Because what he was charged with, we have that in our store. Like tons of it. And we can't have that. And so, the managers that were there, they were aware of it. And they didn't know I knew, but all I do is read. So of course I'm going to know. Because that's all I do. And so it was a situation where he was in an aisle. So I came over there real quick just to keep an eye on him, And then the manager saw me coming, and she knew because she knows me. So she saw me and she looked at me, but then she looked down because she didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Because nobody really wanted to touch that. Nobody wanted to touch that situation. But it's just my nature. I was just making sure everything was okay. And I was just wondering what was going to happen when the manager came back. So the manager did come back. And of course, I wasn't working that day. I only work a few days a week. So I know for a fact when the manager came back, he had to let him go. Now, the reason why he had to let him go, because first off, the crime you're accused of, it's tons of that in this store. And those people don't want nobody working there like that. Second off, in order for him to get hired, he lied. Because he lied about his age. Because that dude wasn't nowhere near the age he said. So he lied on his application. So you can't lie on your application. So you can get terminated just for that. But sad, he was a great worker. And like, you know, I've talked about it a little bit on my other channel, but I don't talk about it too much either. But he was a great worker. Like, he was, like, in that field, he was probably the best. Like, he was only there for like 2 weeks and they made him the best employer of the week and everything. But he was that good. Like, I'm not a hater. The dude was that good. And he was definitely a people person. So you asked, how does the Taurus feel about you? And they gave you two answers. One, he does really care about you. That's the most romantic card in the deck. And number two, but they said Santa is saying, remember, Santa is spiritual. So you have to learn, like what I'm saying for females that are listening. This is why you can't wait around for the guy to do everything. Because even my see, what I'm trying to tell y'all is this, and this is why this was so painful for me, but it just taught me a lot. It made me dig deeper of where I'm at, what planet I'm on, and just the vibration on this planet in third dimension for a lot of people, especially out here in New Jersey. My part of New Jersey. Not all of New Jersey, but my part of New Jersey. Because the first female, I really, really cared about a lot, but she was an a-hole. And both of these females, her and my twin, they were looking for a man to be like a father to them. Like a man to tell them what to do. And I don't do that. Like when I was younger maybe, but I don't do that no more because I feel like you're a grown-ass woman. You shouldn't want a man to tell you what to do. That's just how I feel. I think you're doing yourself a disservice, but, you know, because I feel like if I got to tell you to do something, then what are you going to do when I'm not around you? Because I've dated a lot in my lifetime, and I already know. So I'm real peculiar about that. I'm very particular. I'm not trying to be your father. So that's why I said the first female was probably like a soulmate, but she kind of prepared me for my twin. Because my twin is still very immature even to this day. I mean, even if she's changed, she hasn't changed a lot. Because she's never contacted me. She's never apologized for anything. She's never. But she was real immature when I first met her. So what I'm trying now, why am I telling you that part? Because if you're that type of female, see, the universe is telling you that you can't blame him. And this is what I was trying to tell y'all. When a man really likes a woman, he don't want to argue with y'all. See, y'all might want the argument because y'all love to communicate. But a man feels like he's going to hurt you. So he's trying to protect you. See, a lot of stuff y'all just got twisted. And if y'all don't get it right, y'all are just going to keep going through relationship to relationship. Because a lot of times y'all do have a man who really loves you, is a good man, and y'all just fuck it up. And I'm not supposed to tell y'all that, but I don't care. I'm going to tell you the truth. See, I don't care about the dollar sign and the low views. I care about people. Sometimes you have to grow the hell up. And I'm going to say it again. That's why my younger sister is still married. 16 years now. Because she had to grow up. To a certain degree. So the universe has a man that obviously cares. But if you don't understand what an indigo child is, or a crystal child, or a sensitive child, so he's hoping you show him, which I can understand that, because I've been hurt many times, and that's why I said if you hear me talk, like as much as I would love to let the old Leo back out, the charismatic me, the Leo's a charming, they're the essence of charm. But I'm like, why let that out if it's going to go back to some bullshit? And just like I try to say to the universe, I don't have it in me no more. Like, I can't get hurt again. So, I don't know where this guy is at. But if he's an indigo child or a crystal child or a sensitive child, his sensitivity, like if he loves you or if he cares about you, it's going to be very high. And he just doesn't want to get hurt because it's going to hurt him. And some people can't function, like they can't work. Like, that's what y'all don't understand. It's men. Like, you think that's a woman. You think, oh, that sounds like a woman. But no, these guys that are here now. But these are the guys you wanted men that were more caring, more sensitive, more considerate. And that's what these men are. But now you're saying, wow, they're too sensitive. But maybe you shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth because that's what you asked for. So what you have to learn how to do is, instead of expecting him to approach you a certain way and look at you a certain way and act a certain way or even put up with your bullshit, maybe you got to realize he's not going to do it. He's sensitive and that's hurting him. Like, he just can't do it. His heart is not going to let him do that. And plus, just to be honest with y'all, like, I got fired because of my twin flame because she was extremely immature. So why am I going to get into this bicker back and forth with her and she's not going to be loyal anyway? Because never once did she stand up in my behalf. Like, that, she was like hell on wheels on every front. Like, it's not one thing she did that showed any real stuff. And then years later, when I'm looking on YouTube for readings, through the reading, she's like begging for a second chance and begging for a second chance and all this craziness. And I'm saying, why give you a second chance? Look at the hell you did. Look at what you did. And then the one person that told me to stay the hell away from her looks exactly like my twin. That's Quiet Revolution. Quiet Revolution was like, you better not give her a second chance. And she is talking directly to Leo. And she even pulled her card because my twin's card is a 9 of Swords. And that's all about inner torment and a person can't sleep and all this stuff. So what I'm saying to you is, if you have an indigo male or a sensitive male, obviously he really cares about you. But maybe it's your own insecurities. Or maybe you're just trained in the wrong way. Like, you have to learn how to be a little bit higher than third dimension. Like, you've got to learn how to give more. And that's why I said, the way I teach people that are listening is, don't sit around waiting. Don't think the guy's going to do everything. You know, because some of this stuff, if you just think about it, like I said, let's go to your next question. Well, no, I'm not going to do that one yet because that one's tough. That's about your ex. That's a tough one. These two questions are about your ex. We're going to do them probably last. Let's go back to the Taurus divine male. Okay, so you said, does a Taurus research saying about you? Because you said twin flame, twin soul. But basically what you're asking is, does he research online about you? And again, Haniel came up again. And this is the passion card. So, again, all a person has to do in a search engine, if you're online and you're hearing this video, then you're online. I'm at Yahoo search. I'm going to type in Haniel. And I'm going to type in passion. Because, again, you're trying to get people to interact. You're trying to get people to do things, not just wait around and have somebody tell you everything. Because that's what the problem is. And this is why your relationships fail, because you expect the other person to do everything. You got to learn how to do your part too. So the Passion card, another beautiful card with Haniel. So he obviously cares. So what I'm discerning about the Taurus is he's an indigo child or a crystal child, or he's a sensitive male, which means if you talk to him more or you make eye contact with him, because we still got a lot to talk about, because the Archangels were saying stuff about you that you may not even realize that you're doing. And I kind of understand. I get it, and we'll talk about it. So we found out the Taurus male definitely does care about you, but he's a more modern male. And this is what the females were asking for. Because after the 1950s and the 1960s, it was in the 1970s when y'all started rebelling. I was there. And I don't blame you. I'm on your side. Because I saw what they were doing to women. They were treating y'all like maids. Stay home, have the kids, and the house better be clean when I get there. And then if the guy got home and you said, "Oh baby, I'm tired. Could you change little Johnny's diaper?" He'd be like, "No, you change it." And in some cases, it was worse than that, because they were smacking you all around. Like, I was there, I saw all of it. So finally, the women rebelled, and I agree with y'all 100% on a rebellion. But now it went too far. And so y'all asked the universe for more sensitive men and men that cared, and y'all got it. But now that y'all got it, now y'all act like, well, he's too this. But what y'all don't realize is what you're looking at is possibly real love. But you have to turn it on. And when you turn it on, you got to be there. And that's where a lot of people don't know if they want it. Because they say, well, I don't know if I want it, because I don't want to turn it on, and I don't want to be there all the time. I just want somebody who's going to, know how to sweep me off my feet and, make me feel a certain way. But then hopefully he'll go on with his own thing. Because I don't want somebody in my face all the time. And that's where the problem is. And remember, you're not going to get everything. No matter what you get, the universe is not going to give you everything. You have to learn how to compromise. And that's that Uranus retrograde has a problem with compromising. So you might get a guy that's a little too pushy. Then you might get a guy that's not pushy enough. But somehow you're going to have to find your balance. So then you ask the question, and here you go. What do you need to know about the Taurus? And they say he's an indigo crystal child. That's Metatron Virgo. Because you also asked about a Virgo. And we'll get to that too. But just to let you know, the Virgo is Metatron. And he told you that this Taurus, and remember, Virgo and Taurus are earth signs. He's an indigo child or a crystal child. So that if you don't know about indigo children, and remember, just because it says children, it doesn't matter if it's a grown man. He's still that line of indigo. And don't go by because somebody will say, oh, he can't be indigo child because they were only born around this year or that year. Don't go by that. Go by what the Archangels told you. Don't let other people complicate this. The Archangels are telling you pure truth of the situation you're being faced with. Now it's up to you to say, hey, now that I know he's an indigo child, I'm going to really try to connect and be more like maybe better eye contact and maybe show him a little bit more of myself. Because in that way, you can observe how he responds. But that's what we're being told. We're being told that he's scared of you. Because he don't want to be hurt and he don't want to hurt you. But that's not bad. That doesn't mean he's a coward. That just means you have to be like, well, thank the universe for sending somebody in my life that actually really cares. Let's see where this can go. That would be the ideal response. But some people don't know how to respond, so they go, I don't know. What does that mean, indigo child? What does that mean? And plus, he's not a child. He's a grown man, and they keep complicating it. Don't complicate it. And then Chamuel came. When you said, what do you need to know about the Taurus male? Chamuel came, who is a Taurus. Samuel is Taurus energy, and they said you're going to have a career transition because of your life purpose. But I want you to know it doesn't necessarily mean career transition. It just means you're going to have a transition because of your life purpose. That transition might be this man, depending on how you respond to this information. But like I said, don't wait around. See, now my other client, that's one thing about her. She won't wait. Like, she met with a twin flame, and they were supposed to go on a date, and she was ready to go. But then he didn't show up. So he kind of messed that up. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is that's part of this journey. Y'all got to stop going tick for tack. You would have been better off saying, okay, let me talk to him to ask him, why didn't you show up? Because if you go tick for tack, y'all ain't going to never get, oh, he didn't show up, so now I ain't going to show up. Oh, he didn't show up, so I'm going to go date somebody else. So it's tick for tack. Y'all ain't never going to get past the hump. And if you knew the stages of a twin flame relationship, there's going to be separation. There's going to be a lot of stuff. Y'all got to talk. Like, even if my twin flame did anything to show the little sincerity, it would have made a difference. But now you're going into 5 freaking years. We're getting ready to go into the 6 years where she ain't never did jack diddly squat. And I'm not saying that because I'm hurt or she made me mad. I'm saying that because she never did jack diddly squat. Nothing. Nada. Zero. Zip. She never did one thing that would say, hey, listen, let's get past this stupid stuff. Let's try to connect. It was always me reaching out to her and her always being a jerk. Always. And the female that preceded her was the exact same way. That's how I know that the female that preceded her was like letting me know how she was going to be. And that's how this stuff works. Like I said, the universe is always going to show you messages. And I want to tell you again, out of more recent readings, there were a whole lot of astrologers saying leave her alone. Don't have nothing to do with her. That's just a fact, because it takes a long time for people to grow up. And the fact of the matter is, like, I'm not doing that no more while I'm on this planet. I will not be the one that goes, out of my way like I used to. I'm not doing it. I don't want to be that person no more. So I'm either going to meet somebody who's mutually as interested as I am or not. And like that's just how I feel. Because the universe can bring somebody to the door, but if all you got is the door, then that's not enough. And I can feel the energy. Like, because I'm real intuitive. I can feel, if y'all knew, because I get a lot of deliveries. So y'all, it's been a whole lot of people that came and went. One person used to be inside, like going back years ago. She used to stand here. She used to be inside the crib and sit. And I remember one time I asked her, do you like your job or whatever? And then she just looked at me. She said, first she said yeah, but then she said no, because she was thinking something. But nothing ever came out of that either. So now you ask the question, does the Taurus in the third dimension want to tell you something? And that's when the Leo energy showed up. Raziel showed up with Leo energy and said spiritual understanding, and he had the dove. Now, the last time the dove showed up was with Samuel, when he told you about real love, because it's always significant when that dove shows up. And then because you asked the question, does the Taurus want to tell you something in the third dimension? And then Raguel showed up with the Sagittarius energy. But that's the 2 scales. See, whenever Raguel shows up with the 2 scales, that's like a Libra card. That's like a twin flame card. Now, I'm not saying that the Taurus is your twin flame, but I'm saying he's definitely thinking about a relationship with you. So that's why I said, ladies, don't always sit around waiting. The man can't do everything. And I want to say something else. Because like the female that's coming to the house now, you could kind of feel the energy. But y'all gotta understand what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, one time in my job, me and this female clicked. Like if y'all could have seen it on video, it was beautiful. Like, it clicked. Like I can't even explain it to y'all. But it's like everything I put out, she answered. And you seldom see that. Depending on who you are. So when we got to the moment of truth, the one thing she let me know was, well, she's in a relationship with somebody or whatever. So basically what she was trying to tell me was, oh, I'll still, kick it with you, but I just need you to know I'm in a relationship. So I was like, nah, because I don't really get down like that. Because I would hate for somebody to do that to me. Like, I would hate, if I had a girlfriend, I would hate my girlfriend to do some shit like that, because that's fucked up. And if I'm a dude, I'm sure a lot of females would say that's fucked up. You're going to be out here talking to another female when you know you're in a relationship with me, and you still get that bitch your number or whatever. They ain't too cool with that. So I wasn't cool with that. Plus, it makes me wonder, she ain't really got no character if she's like flirting with me and all that, ready. So I wasn't cool with that. So that's why I be trying to tell y'all, because sometimes, the universe will send somebody your way or whatever, even to your doorstep, and you might say something, whatever. But then they might find out, they got a boyfriend or, some crazy shit. Or even if they're separated from the dude, he's still coming around and still calling or whatever. So it's a lot of shit. You got to, like, are you really, really ready to deal with that? And like I said, me, I'm a different dude. Like, I got to feel it. Like, me, I'm a true Leo. Like, I got to feel it from the gut. If I don't feel it from the gut, like, it ain't really happening. Because I'm not trying to be, it took years to get away from all that dysfunctional, crazy shit. And I ain't trying to go back. It's almost like if you was in prison, you'd be like, man, I did prison. I ain't never going back to prison. That's how I feel about this crazy dysfunctional stuff. Like, nah. So in the third dimension, the Taurus is telling you, like the spiritual energy of Raziel Leo, but it's the dove. So you can pull out the spiritual understanding. Like, you could type in Raziel, spiritual understanding, and you'll see him with that dove. And that's kind of a love card too, because of the dove. Plus, Raziel has another card that's definitely, he actually says love on it, on that card. And when you got when you have Raguel, Sagittarius energy with the divine order, that's the scales. That's like a twin flame card or a relationship card. So yeah, he's definitely thinking about the relationship with you. So that's why I said I think you've been approaching him, which is not really your fault, but you've been approaching him from a reserve. But what the universe is saying is he's not going to. If you approach, he's going to respond to you. Like, when you're dealing with an indigo child or a crystal child or a sensitive male, it's like he cares about you. So he's responding to you. Like, he would melt. Like, he would literally melt. Like, if you gave him eye contact and really gave him like a mannerism of approval, he would almost melt. Because that's how I was with my twin. That's why, like, her, I just feel like, as far as real emotion, I think she fucked up. And I think she realized that, because she had a real emotion through me. And the dude she was with, but she only got with him because me and her wasn't really getting him. Like my twin, me and her, we understood each other, because that's how twin flames are. But she was kind of like trying to push me, and I didn't even know what that shit was. I didn't even know what a twin flame was back then. And you ain't pushing me, So she was my twin was like, well, I'm gonna make you pay. She would sleep with the guy and come in the job and let me know she slept with the guy. Just crazy shit. She was like a very sadistic person and shit. But she did come to realize that what she had with him wasn't real. Because I don't think she was living with him, having sex with him, having that man's babies, and he wouldn't even put a ring on her finger and shit. And that was just disgusting. You know what I'm saying? And I felt sorry for her. I really care about her. I was trying to help her, but she was just so immature and so stupid. So and she even told me, "Oh, he gonna be my husband" and stuff. She told me that to my face. I don't think he ever put a ring on her. Like, I don't think he ever engaged her and stuff. Now, I think now she knows he ain't about shit, because like the last readings I used to get, like, I wouldn't necessarily get readings. I would just go to a YouTube channel for a Leo. Like, this is a card reading for a Leo, and I would just sit there and listen to them. I would listen to a lot of them, and they was basically all saying the same thing about her. Like she realized that dude wasn't about shit. But I knew that from day one. Like, it's just it's certain things y'all females just do and y'all don't listen. Like, if y'all would just listen, y'all could learn. But a lot of times y'all don't listen, and it's just easier for y'all to get mad. But I'm not the enemy. I could never be the enemy. And like y'all gotta understand, I have female energy of past people that are no longer alive, say in that body no more. They always come talk to me. Me and Lilith get along. Now, not everybody can't tell you that they get along with Lilith. I don't have a problem with Lilith. Me and Lilith, like all the female saints come to me. Like I don't have a problem with females that are of a higher vibration. But like third dimensional females, y'all still in the drama and stuff. That's why we got issues. And I'm not playing that game no more. I'll tell y'all real quick. I'm not that dude. Like we don't even have to have a conversation. Like I'm not gonna play that silly ass game. It's too immature. It's just stupid. And they mad because I say it. But y'all should be mad that y'all don't realize that if y'all got problems, the first, like if anybody got a problem, because this is what I do. If I got any problem, the first person I look at is me. I don't look at the next problem. I'm not gonna blame somebody. You got to be mature enough to find out why you got problems. Because that's the only way you're ever going to get better or heal to get to the next level. So basically, your Taurus is waiting on you according to the Archangels. So we're going to find out what you may be doing. Because the Archangels gave you a lot of information. What you may be doing is kind of not helping. It's inconducive. So you asked about how the Taurus felt in the third dimension. Then you asked about how the Taurus felt in the fifth dimension. So here we go. Now Gabriel showed up. And that's the Gabriel. That card is telling you to take leadership. In other words, Gabriel is telling you that you can't sit around waiting for the guy to do everything. Gabriel is telling you the exact same thing I've been telling you. And anybody that's hearing this video. So right now, I'm at my search engine. I typed in Gabriel leadership. And you see the card. And if you notice, Gabriel has a horn of judgment. But he's dropping the judgment card. And remember, Gabriel is androgynous. And there's people on YouTube that have seen Gabriel. And they all describe him the same way. I'm saying he, but you can say he, she. They all describe the same person. It's pretty cool. Like if y'all ever want to research that. Because those videos are on YouTube. Because these people have asked to see him, and he's shown up. And they all describe him the same way. These are different people. I don't even know if those people know each other. So Gabriel is telling you got to lead, and you got to lead in love. So what they're trying to tell you, like if you really opened up to this guy a little bit, smiled a little bit more, or just you would see it. He would almost like become a child in front of you. Like he would almost break down. That's why I say, y'all women got to stop all that damn drama. Y'all mad. Because I tell you, y'all be like the universe be sending y'all real love, but y'all just don't get it. Like even her. And I told her, get a reading. I told her she's just getting hard-headed right now. But she's only getting hard-headed because she's hurt. And I understand where she's at. Not her. Not this client, but I got another client. They're going through the same thing. Like I told you, this stuff comes to me in batches. It comes to me in batches. Like I'll get people with the same mindset, the same stuff going on. Pisces, Aquarius, all in batches. So you gotta almost be friendly to the person. And then this is what you gotta know. Because me and my twin went through this. Because like I said, y'all gotta understand, I have nothing but pure love for my twin. And I told her that in the beginning. She was the one with all the games and stuff. And she never ever took into account that maybe I'm hurt. She was just a mean ass person. Like the moment she got mad, she just was like, I'm gonna get you back. She was like an unbelievably vindictive person and shit. And she didn't understand that she was destroying me because I actually cared about her and stuff. But at the same time, she's destroying me, but she's making me harder. You know? Which is only gonna make it harder for her to ever, become friends or whatever. So you gotta stop that. Like in a case like this, like if you try to if you try to communicate with him and at first he pulls away from you, again, that's only him trying to protect his heart. It's not him being mean toward you. It's not him trying to hurt you. It's him realizing that you have so much power over him that he's just trying to protect himself. So if you reach out to him and he acts a certain way, and you say, "See, that's my point. I'm not gonna reach out to him no more because you're missing the point. You gotta just chill. Just stay positive. Nobody's saying you gotta risk anything or lose anything. But one thing you can do is just don't be mean. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be vindictive. You ain't gotta be on no payback. Cause this is all the stuff my twin did. Just reach out and then give him his space because he's got to process that. But it just seems like he has a lot of feelings for you. And if you just could do that, it's going to work itself out. Because it's just real childish to go tick for tack. This is people in pain. They've been hurt. They've been hurt in this life. They've been hurt in past lives. Because listen, y'all gotta understand, I take a lot of flack. This is why my boss really likes me. I can tell my boss really has kind of respect me. Well, really, he really, out of all the people, my boss shouldn't really like me. Because of my health reasons and all the shit going on, I'm not always able to be there. But when I am there, he's got the best of me. He's got at least 4 or 5 workers when I'm there. Because I'm old school. This is all facts. And the fact that I'm still employed is only proving my point. Now, so what you have to do is stop the tick for tack. Stop the childish, immature behavior. That's the first thing you can do if you ever want this stuff to work. Because the cards are saying you're dealing with an indigo child, a sensitive man. You're dealing with a crystal child. So he just doesn't want to get hurt. Which means the worst mistake you can make is hurt him. So I would say work out, say, hi, how you doing? Just be friendly and stay that way. Give him a chance. You'd be surprised. Cause like I said, I'm not just a reader or an analyzer. Like I got agenda. I didn't come to planet Earth for third dimensional bullshit. I knew that when I was a little kid. Even my mother knew that. Even when I was a little kid, she'd be like, "Oh, he's in his own little world. He's in his own little world." And the funny thing about it is, the hell my mother put me through. At this point, like I'm her biggest support. At this point, like if I was bitter or angry on some Dear Mama stuff or some crazy stuff, like crazy psycho movies and shit. If I was one of them nut jobs and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I never forgot I'm here for a reason. That's why I can't let little silly stuff on YouTube. People get offended and stupid for stupid reasons and silly. I'm here for a reason. And you have to understand, I'm also training people that are going to have YouTube channels. And those are going to be, like, to me, some of the best channels that you're going to see out here if they stick to it. But a lot of my people, they're just too caught up on I don't want to be lonely. And I keep trying to tell you, you can't control that. In fact, if that's all you focus on, the universe is not going to make that easy for you. Because you got to learn how to be like, no matter what, I'm going to follow my purpose. Because if you're telling the universe, well, I know I got psychic abilities, and I know I can help a lot of people, but if I don't get a man in my life, if I don't get somebody in my life, I'm not going to do anything. Well, then the universe is just going to make your life worse than it's already been. Because you can't dictate. Like, don't let Western society mess you up. You're here for a reason. You got spiritual gifts to help people. That's like number 1 on my list. Cause I wouldn't be happy. Like if I'm with somebody, like y'all gotta understand. Like I've got too much to offer to just have one person. I would feel so inhibitive. Cause I might wanna do a natal chart. I don't want to talk to you today. I just talked to you last night. Like we were on the phone. Like y'all gotta understand. I've already did all that on the phone stuff, hanging out stuff, and I've already did that. That's kind of boring now. Like I'm up here now. I'm at a higher level. I want to do something. I want to make a difference. I don't want to just sit at a dinner. I've already done this stuff. So anybody coming to my life, they got to be dynamic like me. Otherwise, it's boring. I'm sorry. So you got to understand where you're at. First off, what the universe is saying before we go further, because we're just getting started. We're about to go into what they said about what's going on with you subconsciously that you might not even be aware of. This is what the Archangel said in this read. Now I'm already at 2 hours. Where was it? So I might have to stop this audio. I may not. I don't know. So what they're telling you is make eye contact, smile a little, and give him a chance to get used to you. He just doesn't want to be hurt. Because the more you show him that I'm really here for you, the more it'll get better. But you females may not do that. Let's go back to Bella. Now I'm with Bella. The Bella twins, what's her name? Nikki Bella. John Cena was wrong. John Cena was wrong. It's because of men like John Cena that I can't find a good woman. John Cena was wrong. But there was a time when John did begin to wake up and realize he messed up. So I'm not blaming Nikki for the decision she's made, because John didn't deserve her. I admit that. But at the same time, now that she finally got him willing to talk more and compromise, she could have hung in there maybe a little bit longer since she let that man put her through all that hell. Because John Cena fucked her up psychologically, and that was definitely abuse. And I'm not saying she could have. So I don't want nobody to think I'm saying, oh, Nikki, you should have went back. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying, since you did go through all that hell, and now he is willing to compromise and trying to get his shit together, maybe you could have. Because if y'all going to keep going tick for tack for everything, oh, tick for tack, you did this to me, so I'm going to do this to you, y'all ain't never going to be happy. Because what happens when the next person messes up a little bit? And hopefully she's not that type of person. And I don't think that she is, because she stayed with John so long. I think she was just a woman that wanted to be in love. I know my twin flame is the same ethnic background as Nikki Bella. So I know how they feel. They're big on family, big on, I know what it is. And you say, well, what happened with yours? What happened with mine? Mine was just mean. And I did try to talk to her. Y'all gotta say, if y'all knew how many times I went up to my twin to have a conversation with her, she was just mean. Just like I got some neighbors from hell. They're just mean ass people. It's not me. You understand? I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. These people are just evil. I've been watching these people for years, and now it's gotten so bad that other people see it. Because when you're really, if you're a liar, you might get away with it at first, but if you keep lying, after a while, people are going to be like, Gary's not making this shit up. They are liars. Because I got other people that are looking at them like, yeah, they really are some mean ass people. They just do some mean ass demonic shit. Basically. So my twin was a lot like that. She just chose to be a mean ass. And I guess because I was such a nice person. Some of these people are just mean because I just be nice. But I could be mean if I wanted to. I just grew up. I used to curse people out. I was a very intimidating. Y'all got to remember, I'm a lion. But I grew up. I don't want to be third dimensional, dysfunctional. And I'm not letting nobody pull me back into that energy. Because that's all these people do, is they go out of their way to try to pull you into some bullshit. And like I said, as far as relationships are concerned, if you really want to be honest about it, you want somebody that loves you as much as you love them. You want somebody who actually wants it to be us, we. You don't want somebody that's fucking, oh, you got to go back to being some type of psycho dude. You got to go back to like a high school mentality to deal with this female. No. Let that female deal with her own bullshit. I'm not coming back. I'm not saving her. She's going to have to swim her own. I tried to talk to her, tried to work it out. It's a done deal. And some people say, well, why are you still talking about it? I'm talking about it because we're still talking about twin flame stuff. That's why I'm talking about it. Other than that, I wouldn't be talking about it. I could care less. We all grow. Hopefully she grows, and hopefully wherever she's at. Last reading I got on her when I was listening to some Leo readings was she came into some money and stuff like that. But listen, for y'all that didn't hear this, let me repeat this part. Because they were going, Leo, your twin... They were going, Leo, your twin is coming into some money, but she has to stay in this relationship, but she's willing to leave the relationship just to be with you. I was like, no! I said, stay with the money. I said, I don't got shit to offer you. I was like, stay with the money. So I know I'm not a bad dude. I hope she's happy. I hope she's got money, and I hope she's happy. All right. So it is what it is. So that's what they're telling you. Now it's up to you to follow that advice. I'm talking to the client right now. You just order to be nice, smile, and expect him not to respond the way you want to at first. But if you give him a chance, I can almost guarantee, based on what the cards are saying, that he will respond. Now, that does not mean shit's going to be perfect. That does not mean you guys are going to hook up and he's never going to hurt you and he's not going to cheat on you and look at other women. That doesn't mean that. I'm sorry. In this world, we got problems. This is why the Messiah said, take one day at a time. But what I am trying to tell you is it can start off pretty nice if you just give him a chance and then realize that he may not know how to respond at first because he cares about you. He's scared. And if you make eye contact and smile, it might knock him back a little bit. So give him a chance to grow before you say tick for tack. Because you may not have to say tick for tack. Give him a little bit of time and he might start to, like with some men, once they get their confidence up. Because some men are really humble. But what I'm telling you, ladies, y'all should be glad he's humble. Like, y'all always want the bad guy. Y'all always want the guy that just takes you off. But maybe he's a player. Maybe he doesn't care about your feelings, which is why he can walk up to you and spin you around and make you feel a certain way. Because he doesn't really care. He's just taking you through the same motion he took every other female. See, I want the guy that's nervous. Because that means he cares. I want the guy that's stuttering and a little bit afraid. But he'll get used to it after a while. Once you show him that you're not going to hurt him, because he's scared. So once you show him you're not going to hurt him and his confidence starts to come out, that'll be easy. That part is easy. But I'd rather have the nervous guy than the guy that's got too much confidence, because the guy that got too much confidence is probably a player. And listen, I know men. I know men. That's why I said I was in love with this female, and I thought the best thing I could do was to teach her how men really talk, how men really think. And I tried to tell her, and this is what she said to me. That's how you think, not all men. And I was hurt. I said, listen, I just violated the man code for her. I just violated the man code for her because I love her so much. I'm trying to tell her this is how men really think so that you don't get hurt. Like if me and you ever break up, you'll know how men really think so you don't get hurt. So I'm trying to look out for her. I'm breaking the man code. And she tells me it's me. This isn't how men think. This is how you think. That was like one of the deepest pains in my life, other than that twin flame stuff. So, but the universe is good, people. The universe is good. Sometimes you just got to trust the universe. So, in case y'all never heard this, let me say it one more time. She was in gym one class. She was in the gym, and the guys were there. But they forgot. They were sitting on the bleachers, and the guys forgot that she was sitting up there. So she was sitting behind them, hearing everything she said. And she came back to me. She looked at me. She said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." She couldn't stop telling me she was sorry. Because now she realized that what I told her was the truth. And I only told her because I didn't want to get hurt. She finally realized it. So that was one time the good guys won. Yay! Very rare on this piece of crap planet. But let me go on. So that's what I'm telling you. The guy likes you. All you got to do is make eye contact, show a smile, and show him, and you'll begin to see a different him. But give him a chance, because now he's got to get used to that. And try your best in the early days not to go tick for tack. Now, if it doesn't work out and he hurts you, which could happen, I'm not saying it will happen, but it could happen, then I could see you going tick for tack, but not right now. All right. So that was it. You asked about him in a 5D, so I think that was it for the Taurus questions. So then you asked who is a Virgo, and you gave his birthday. So Michael came. Michael the Archangel, the same one that said he's going to protect you. But Michael told you have to have crystal clear intention. So usually when Michael tells you that, that's because a person is not being crystal clear. Like if you go, oh, what about the Leo? Oh, what about the Virgo? Well, what about the Taurus? See, Michael says you got to be crystal clear. What's your intention? Now, if your intention is just to date, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. If you want to say Virgo, Leo, Taurus, nothing wrong with that. But you can't say, well, I would like to have a person in my life and not be crystal clear. Because Michael's saying crystal clear. Well, who would you like to have in your life? Let's be crystal clear. That's all Michael's saying. But then, now here you go, because you asked about that Virgo, and then Uriel showed up again. But what do we know about Uriel? Well, Uriel is Uranus that keeps taking you back to, see what we said in your 7th house about switching around, and you see you can't be bopping around. See, you can't be in the 7th house that's supposed to be about relationships, but you're bopping around. And that's why Michael's saying crystal clear. That's why I said sometimes you have to look at yourself. And sometimes it's not your fault, because if you're a working woman, you're real busy. So you might not be a bad person, but it's just that you're so busy that you don't have time to really think about this. But this is why you get your angel card readings and get your natal chart done, and you do it with somebody like me who's going to tell you the freaking truth. Because as long as you're lying, you're going to get caught. Like my neighbors, they're busted, okay? Because Monday was curb day. And they saw me put everything on the curb, but instead of them putting their stuff on the curb, they're too busy watching me because they want to start a war with me for some crazy ass reason that we still don't know why. Okay? But I can tell you it's probably light versus darkness. So instead of them putting their curbings on the curb on Monday, which was curb day, they put their stuff out on Tuesday, even though they know that Monday was curbing day because they watched me put everything on the curb, but they were trying to pick a fight with me. So now their stuff is still out there, and now it's Wednesday. So now I'm getting ready to figure out a way to address them that they got to get their stuff off the curb. Why? Because their stuff always comes down the curb, especially on raining seasons like it is right now. And it ends up on our property and blocks our driveway and everything else. And I don't want that to happen again. This is why I've been complaining. So even though I did all that complaining, these idiots are back to doing what they always do, which is starting drama. So now I got to not let them get away with it. So once again, I have to be a grown-ass man to people that are, some of these people are older than me. They should be showing me. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. So I get sick of that. That's why I would never do that in a relationship. So I feel sorry for anybody looking for somebody to hold their hand and carry them in a relationship, because I won't do it. I'll do it for other people because that's my calling. But I won't do it in a relationship, because in a relationship, I need to be built up too. So I need somebody just as dynamic as I am. And if I can't get that, then let me do what I've been doing most of my life. Because I've already did all that. See, all that other stuff we've already done. That dating stuff and all that makeup and breakup and all that childish stuff that people do in third dimension. I've already done that. I don't want to do that no more. So I'm happy with what I'm doing. I love my life. And I can't say that any other way. Even like I said, I'm thankful to my boss. I love what I do, my job. I love my life. I love doing this stuff. Even if I have lower views, but the people I deal with are a little bit more understanding. You got to be a little bit more mature. This is not bubblegum astrology. We're not just going to sit here and talk and pop, and then you pay me some money and then I'm happy and you're happy and we go on. No, this is real life. This is real spirits, real angels, real astrology, real planet motion. I got too much respect for how our universe is run to sit out here and do some goddamn bubblegum astrology. I refuse. I refuse. All right. So they took you back to your 7th house again with Uranus. So Uranus is kind of telling you to chill out. Like Uriel, the Archangel, is telling you got to chill out in these areas. You can't, and Michael's saying you can't be going from Virgo to, you got to be crystal clear. You got to find out who you are, what you want. If you want to date, then it's okay if you're going from one sign to another sign, one man to another sign. If you're just dating, maybe you just got out of a serious situation and you're not ready yet, then that's fine. But Michael's saying whatever you do, you got to be crystal clear about it. And then you got to go with it with unwavering faith, whatever you're going to do. But you can't be bouncing around. Because, see, I can't say, hey, listen, all women are dogs when I'm talking 3 or 4 or 5 different women. But then, oh, listen, all women are dogs. No, you're the dog. You're the one talking to 4 or 5 different women. Women are not dogs. You are. So Michael's saying you got to be real. And that's what that means, maturity. See, that's why I love these archangels, because they tell you the truth. It takes a little maturity to be crystal clear and focused on what you're doing. And then you got to do it with unwavering faith. Because nobody's going to respect you if you're bouncing all over the place. And when I say you, I mean all of us. And Uriel is telling you also that Uriel is agreeing with Michael. Because when you go to Uranus, it goes right back to your 7th house. And it's showing your 7th house could be a little bit bumpy. We've already covered that. So we're not going to talk about that again. Now, this is when I started to ask questions. But let me just look. Because we're going to save your X for the last. We're going to save those 2 questions for the last. And we should be getting ready to get out of here because I really shouldn't go past 3 hours on this audio. Because sometimes it's very, very hard to upload. And, okay. So we got a little bit more time. So that was the answer they gave you. You asked about the Virgo energy, and Michael told you to be focused. That's the answer. And Uriel said you can't be bouncing all around with that 23 and that Uranus retrograde energy you got going on in your 7th house. Can't be bouncing all around. So this was me. Please tell, because I was interested in the Leo energy, because that's a powerful energy. And right now, August is a powerful month. For the Lion Gate on August 8th, it already happened, and a whole lot of stuff. Even right now, this full moon is going to be about Aquarius and Leo, and we'll talk about that in our next video. You'll actually see the charts, the 2 charts, her chart and a full moon chart. Please tell us about the Leo energy that is reaching out to her. This is me asking Archangels, and they went Virgo. They went right to Virgo, and they went to Metatron, which says chakra clearing. So it tells you to get your chakras cleared, and again, that's out online. If you want to get into that, that's totally up to you. But it would be chakra clearing. And I think, and later on, Jofio is going to come and tell you about Feng Shui, because that's something else you would have to learn about or research and know that. Okay, so you asked, please tell us about the Leo energy. So it's Virgo energy. Metatron says chakra clearing. But then Azrael came, which is Capricorn. And that's Capricorn could be your 10th house, which is career. But either way, it's Capricorn. It says comforting your heart. So what I'm getting about your Leo energy, he's here to help you. Whoever this high Leo is, but it's in your true north node. So let's look at both of those real quick. And if we have to go longer, we will. But we may not have to. So that's your true north node at 24 degrees is a return. And it's also Juno, which is a serious relationship, which is why I'm asking about it. And that's in your 4th house, which can also be family and or education, but it could also be property, real estate, could also be your health, could also be your family or ancestors, could also be teenage to adult educations. And yeah, you just missed Jupiter. And that Jupiter goes to 44. So in your 4th house, you got a lot of 4s if you notice. And remember, 4 is the Aries card. 4 is also could be the 4th house of the zodiac, which is family, but could also be the Aries card. Alright, so yeah, but I was actually looking for your Capricorn. And that's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So your Capricorn is in your 9th house. Let me recount and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. 9th house. So again, this is still teaching. This is Sagittarius energy, higher learning, higher stuff. But Capricorn is like business. So I don't know if you plan on going back to school again, because your 9th house is like higher education and going to school, and Capricorn is business. But either way, it's hitting at 23 again. I remember 23 could be a diplomat, but 23 could also be something comes out of nowhere. It's almost scary, because it's almost like saying you're in a relationship already, but then out of nowhere with that 23 degrees comes something else. And see, that's what happened with that female at my job, where we were both flirting with each other, because I wasn't even going to talk to her. But a whole lot of strange shit happened. I can't even get into it. But some strange lady, like there's an aisle in my job that's kind of like a metaphysical aisle. Like if you walk down that aisle, some strange shit can happen. It's a long ass aisle. And in the aisle, in the front part of it, a strange lady came. And I was mad because I was getting ready to leave that aisle. I had been in the aisle too long. A strange lady came, but she was almost like them kind of ladies you see in the movies, like Igor, like hey, Igor, and talking all crazy. So I liked her because first I was mad because she was messing my schedule up. And then she was talking, but she was talking real funny. So I said, "Oh, I like her. She's funny." And she was talking to us like on some Popeye stuff. So then I was so I was listening to her talk, but she was talking on some real stuff about breakup and marriage. So I started giving her advice on how to, don't let your husband bully you, and this is how you can overthrow your husband because no, he was a jerk. Like all you guys out there, I know your ladies, they might hurt you, but let them go. If they want to go, let them go. That's the best thing you can do. I want to say kudos to Bruce Willis. When Demi Moore, because remember Demi Moore looks a lot like that other female who's the same ethnic background of my twin. I forget Davo, because her name is Moore too. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She's famous, but she's always in the news for some shit, drugs, as getting rehab and stuff. So she looks a lot like Demi Moore, but her last name is Moore too, and she looks a lot like Nikki Bella, and they all look like my twin. And I know Nikki Bella and the other Moore is definitely the same ethnic background. I don't know if Demi Moore is or not. I really don't know. She might be though. But anyway, when she told Bruce Willis, I went out, Bruce let her go. Let him go. If they want to go, let them go. Because I had somebody do that to me in 1993. She said she wanted out. And even though it was a lot of pressure on me, but if they want to go, let them go. So don't bully the females. And I don't care if they hurt you. That doesn't give you a right to hurt them. You're supposed to be a man. Be a freaking man. I know it's hard, but be a freaking man. Don't make trouble for the lady. So it's my job to advise a lady on how to beat a bully. And I did. So she told me I knew my stuff. She told me, she said, because everything you told me to do, I'm already doing. She said, you know your stuff. So then I walked up the aisle after helping her, but that was my test to see if I would help her, and I did. And that's when I met this female. She was unbelievably beautiful. She definitely was something desirable, and me and her hit it off like this, like wham, 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 wham. So trust the universe. And that day, it was broad daylight, and the moon was out in the east, in the sky, and it looked like the high priestess because it was pillar of clouds. This was creepy. It was creepy. And I used to work with a dude who had moon in his name. I'm not gonna say his name, but I got on, and we talk on communication equipment. I said, "Yo, come outside." I brought him outside. I said, "Come out." And I'm surprised my boss ain't get mad, but I brought him outside. I said, "Look, because outside, this was right after I saw that female. It was some twin flame stuff. It was the moon in the east over the Atlantic Ocean with the pillar of clouds, like the high priestess, because she has a pillar of clouds, whether y'all know that or not. She has the two pillars. And then to the west was the sun in broad daylight out there. It was beautiful. And I had just been out there with that twin flame situation, with that female anyway. So trust the universe. So what I was trying to tell y'all is, that's that 23, because it comes out of nowhere. And it was diplomatical, because she and I was very diplomatical to each other. And we had great communication and everything. But it came out of nowhere. And that's your 9th house of higher whatever. Higher self, your higher self can be. So it comes out of nowhere. So that's where they took you when you asked that question. They took you to your 9th house, because that's where Capricorn is. And that Sagittarius energy. So then it was Libra and Jophiel, but Jophiel told you to get outdoors, and she kept telling you in this reading to get outdoors. So I know you're working hard, but they keep telling you to get out. So you got to find somewhere to. I strongly advise you to try to find somewhere, because especially take your kids maybe, but try to make sure it's outside. The kids could play, but you want to try to get out in nature too. Maybe some type of park or somewhere where the kids can play, but where you can be out in nature too. And I don't know if you have any animals, but even if you could take the animal too, but you got to get out in nature, because Jophiel kept telling you that. And that's your Libra energy. And that's in your 6th house. And you got Lilith there. You got your Pluto there. And you got the Vertex, which is also about soulmate and relationships. So yeah, so that's Virgo. So that's ruled by Virgo. Virgo rules that house. And that's also showing you a possible relationship in that 6th house, ruled by Virgo. So to me, it just seems like they're saying, yeah, that Leo energy is like a kind of like a soulmate, but he's going to kind of help you get yourself together, whoever that person is. Because you got a lot of Virgo in that question. You got a lot of Virgo because your Libra is in the 6th house, which is Virgo, and Virgo answered that question. So it's almost like a lot of Virgo Sagittarius energy. All right. So to me right now, it's telling you that Leo has some type of like a soulmate soul to help you heal, but also to help you to mature. Because like I said, if you really want it to work, because let me show you how we're all a bunch of hypocrites. Let me just prove my point. Like, let's just say I'm talking to her. I'm not saying she would say this, but I'm going to use her as an example. So let's say I'm talking to her and she's going, no, 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 because a man should do this and a man should do that and a man should do that and a man should do that. So I'm going to go, oh, so you don't have to do anything. The man's supposed to do everything. But now let me go to her field, because I know what her field is. Let's just say to her field. Let's say she wants to be like that person she goes before every morning during the week. Now all of a sudden she's doing everything. Now she's going back to school. She's coming home. She's studying online. She's studying. See my point? See, when it's something she wants as far as career and reputation and finance, now she's ready to do everything. But when I say relationship, she goes, no, the guy should do it. The guy should show me that he loves me. The guy should do it. The guy should do it. So that's the hypocrisy. So this person that's the Leo energy that's hitting her hard is trying to get her ready for this. To make her mature more, so she will have that Virgo and Libra that's in her 6th house. And maybe even help her with a career. Because that career is higher self. Like that 9th house where her Capricorn is, that is higher. And that's higher courts too. So that would be like the judge. That's the higher person, because that's who you go before. Now I said, please tell us about her dreams, because she's got all these dreams going on. And again, Gabriel shows up. And remember, Gabriel is connected to the moon. And he tells you to nurture a child. Why? Because that child you need to nurture is that male we're talking about. Any indigo child male and any male. Any crystal child male. Because Gabriel already told you, you have to know how to lead in love. Because sometimes what happens is, like when let's just say we meet people where we work at. Let's just say we're in a system where we see a lot of professional people. Let's just say we're in a big old professional building, so we see a lot of professional people. We might even see officers and stuff, people carrying weapons and stuff. So we're gonna walk around and we're actually projecting something ourselves. But Gabriel's telling you don't do that in this case, because your male needs you to be more nurturing. See, the moon and Gabriel, that's the mother, nurturing. And some women say, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want a man that's looking for a mama. But in this particular case, that's what the Archangels are advising you for this particular man. Because I just got a feeling all this is about that Taurus pretty much you're asking about. Because remember, I went through this whole reading. And I was more, because I kept telling her to get a reading. Not because I want to make some money, but she needs to get a reading. It's bottom line. Let's talk reality right now. Let's just say somebody does your hair and she sees you at the mall and she goes, girl, your hair is looking fucked up. Like, girl, you need to get to the shop as soon as possible because you looking at So that's what I'm doing. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is my calling. And the damn sure ain't about money, because you can't do a whole lot for what I charge. I'm just being honest with y'all. And I could have been there. If you knew how many people, if I had $1 for everybody that told me I need to charge what everybody else is charging, I'd be rich off of that. So I'm not out here trying to rip you off. I'm telling you what the universe is saying. Right now it's all about this Leo. And I know for a fact she got Leo energy because he came to me. She sent me an email about a dream she had, and all of a sudden in my window pane, it said Yahoo. It was like Yahoo News, because inside it shows you Yahoo News and all the commercials and stuff. And it was a lion, like the Lion King. And I said, you got a Leo. I said, you have a Leo energy following you. And she said, I know you told me that when you did my chart. And I don't even remember telling her that. But I know she got a strong Leo. So this is who you hear talking right now, in my opinion. So please tell her about her dreams. So Gabriel came and said, you got to be able to nurture this person. But Gabriel's telling you that it's worth it, because he's not always going to be a baby. He's just scared of you. He's scared of you because he cares about you. So he's scared to death of you. That's why a lot of you women, y'all don't know how powerful y'all are. I think y'all do know, but it's just like y'all just take it the wrong way. Y'all got to learn how to use your power to benefit yourselves. Because anybody can use their power to hurt people or gossip or just break shit up. Don't do that. Because what I'm seeing between her and I believe it's this Taurus is the moment she starts to do what I say and he starts to stop being afraid and starts to come out, it's going to be unbelievable. So then Michael was the next, because I said, please tell her about her dreams. So Gabriel said you got to learn how to nurture a child. And he's the same one that told you got to learn how to lead in love. Like take the lead in love. And Michael told you to remember who you are. So, and that's what they said, because I just did a karma report. Now, most of that karma report is live. Now, I did a full report that is for the client or for anybody else. The client doesn't mind if other people see it because it's all confidential. But if you have been a client, then you could see it as well if you want to know more about the karma. Because I went down everything, had the moon, the sun, and all of this. Because the moon does help you remember who you are. And Gabriel is the moon. But remember, Gabriel and Michael are throughout your Bible. But y'all got to understand why Gabriel and Michael are throughout your Bible. Because it's all about the moon. Because your Old Testament is about the moon, the so-called Hebrews. Your New Testament is about the sun, the so-called Christian. And in your Bible, you have Gabriel and Michael working through both of them. Now, also, said, please tell her about your dreams. Zadkiel came, who's Gemini energy. And he told you to be more compassionate. Because I think what happens is, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I think you're projecting yourself a certain way at your job. But for this particular person, this Taurus, or anybody who you're thinking about being in a relationship with, or getting to know, or dating, you don't want to just show yourself as who you are, because it can be intimidating. So you have to smile a little bit more, or just show yourself. You know, even if you know how to be, like, some people are good at being sociable, you know, with a joke or something. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to you tell a joke, but it's just you know how to make a person feel at ease, because I think you're making him feel intimidated. Especially you got that powerful stuff in your 7th house. See, Scorpio, you don't want to be intimidating in your 7th house, but we learned that you are, according to what we've seen today. So you got to not do that. It's going to pay off. I wouldn't be telling you, believe me. Like I'm also like a lawyer, because I'm also looking out for the client. But sometimes we got to learn how to just stop it. Because like I said, even with my sister is like my house is very powerful. My mother's is a very powerful. She's a little old lady and she is still very powerful. My mother can almost be intimidating. Very powerful woman, always been that way. And she's still a very powerful. I sit there, I have to laugh at her sometimes because I can't even, it makes me laugh how powerful she is, that little old lady. They get ready to leave the country in about a week. They get ready to go. My mother's been all over the world. Even as a little old lady, she was in Italy when I think bombs was. Like, I don't think she saw the bombs though, but everywhere she went, from Dominican Republic, and this is recent. This is not like years ago. This is recent. Like in the last 2 or 3 years, Dominican Republic, Italy, Africa, you name it, she's been there. And most of those places, she's been a little old lady. A lot of those places, like she went when she like 20, 30, 40 years ago, like in the Caribbeans and all that stuff. So sometimes it's hard because they have to learn how to tone it down. Not a lot, to tone it down. Because if you don't, it's intimidating. And a person really does want to approach you, but they're intimidated by you. And see, me, I understand it because I can do the same thing. But with me, I just don't have no more time for bullshit. And plus, I got to answer to a big God that don't play. I know God personally. Whether y'all believe that or not, I can't help you with that. If you spend more time on my channels, you will see me doing stuff with the planets and all kind of stuff I do. But not to brag, not to boast, but to be a point, I got somebody to answer to that I can't just be, I can't be friends with everybody because I have to have an account for that, because I have a God that doesn't, you can't date, like some people date like you chew bubble gum. He doesn't play that. Like everything he does is it has to be a reason. Like Michael told you to be focused. Remember, Michael and Gabriel are both in the Bible. And Michael's telling you to be focused because it's not supposed to be about, oh, I'm just going to go out. I'm just going to let my hair down. I'm just not going to go out. And I would, before you ever did that, I'm not saying you would, but if you ever tried to do that, I would tell you get some readings. You don't have to get them from me, but get them from somebody and find out what's going on. Because a lot of people think you're not going to answer, but you are going to answer for everything you do on this planet. And that's why your 12th house is all about endings, the spirituality, and karma. And the 8th house is also about judgment, whether you know that or not. And karma. That's why the number 8 is karma. All right. And remember, the number 8 is also the infinity sign, because whatever you do is going to have that and infinite effect. And if your ancestors knew everything I'm telling you, it's just that the people that got you in this matrix, they're lying to you. And like if you understand what's going to happen, like ask any Native American that knows prophecy, and he could tell you, or she could tell you. So that way I'm not the bad guy. All right, but whoever you are, you're gonna pay for whatever you do. We all are. That's why you got to be careful. So again, tell you about your dreams. Gabriel Moon is all about the dreams, and Gabriel Moon also tells you about the journal and write it in a journal, creative writing. But he tells you the moon, you gotta learn how to just nurture that person. Michael's telling you to remember who you are. So when any dream you have is really trying to help you wake up to remember who you are. And Zekael is Gemini, but he's telling you to be compassionate, not only with other people, but also with yourself. So when you meet somebody, try not to make them feel like, well, you got to be a certain whatever. Even if you feel that way, but don't make them feel that way. You don't ever want to make people feel down. And that's why I said I'm very careful what I, do and say. Because like I said, I have somebody at my door that I know for a fact that if I was to start talking, they probably would talk more. And because they try to slow it down for whatever reason. I'm not saying they're trying to slow it down to talk to me, but ever since they came, they're very, very slow. And that was the first thing I noticed. They're very, very slow. But that's how you have a long conversation with somebody, get to know them and stuff. And I'm just being careful for different reasons. Just different reasons. Because at the end of the day, am I ready? And no, I'm not, because I love what I do. And right now, even being a caregiver, that takes a lot of time, especially for the person I caregiver, because they're a drama queen and they're always going to make it about them. That's what they do. That's I am Mom Coeli. So that's already too much, way too much of my time going into this. And I don't have a lot of time, so I definitely don't want somebody else in my, because I'm going to start getting mad and I don't want to go back to being angry. So I have to do what I do, which is I love to do what I do. I love the readings. I love everything I do. So that's so important. All right. So now going on. Is the Leo and the Taurus the same person? Now, the reason why I asked this, because I needed to know for myself. I had to know. So then Gabriel came up again. Now, keep in mind, Gabriel keeps coming up. And that's when he said moon, creative writing. Because you should have journals. You should be writing your dreams down. And not just your dreams. You should keep a journal with you all day, writing this stuff down. Because you have a psychic calling that you're going to have to get used to doing as well. So then Azrael came and said, Capricorn counselor. So remember, I'm still asking about the Leo. And all of these questions I'm asking really is about that Leo. And then Jeremiah came out that says Scorpio, overcoming difficulties. So through your dreams and through this Leo energy, he's helping you mature and overcome your difficulties. And Azrael is also Capricorn, but that can also be career. And that's why I said always look where Azrael or Capricorn is on your chart. And there you have your Capricorn is in your 9th house, which is that higher self or higher teacher. That would be like the high priestess or the ultimate judge. And again, this is why judges wear robes, because they're showing you the divine feminine. The divine feminine is the ultimate ruler. Everybody knows that. Everybody, anybody in secret society, everybody knows. That's why even out here they say the divine feminine, the divine feminine, the divine feminine. So really, everybody's just helping you get to that higher you, that higher self, the divine feminine. And so far, that Leo energy is some type of soul connection to you, like a soulmate. And remember, a soulmate does not have to be a lover. A soulmate is just somebody in your family. So like I said, if you ever went somewhere, you go somewhere, all of a sudden your car breaks down and you're stuck somewhere, and somebody comes out of nowhere and helps you. That was your soulmate. That's your soul friend. That's a soul tribe. Like if y'all notice, all of my life, a white blonde has followed me. Not the same person, but no matter where I'm at, some white blonde goes, and she always reminds me of my calling. One time was my birthday, and I'm trying to hang out at the Berkeley Carteret in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And I'm sitting there with another person, like a relative, and then somebody had went in the room, and we're waiting for them to come out. So this white lady comes in with blonde hair. She walked, and this place is crowded because they're partying. This is partying. She walks in, this white lady, never seen her before in my life, heavy set white lady. She walks in, looks at me, walks away. She comes back, looks at me again and goes, "Hey everybody, there's a preacher in here." I'm like, why the hell, even if I am, why do you got to tell everybody? Plus, y'all got to understand, at that particular moment, I wasn't necessarily, I guess because I had on I probably did have on like a black shirt, and I guess because I had on a white t-shirt.
So I guess to her I was a preacher, which I am a preacher, but and like you don't have to tell the whole world. How do you know I'm a preacher? Like what? But that happens all the time. Goes back to when I was in 8th grade. A white girl, same age as me. We're outside for gym, and I'm just standing by the fence. She walks out at me. She said, "You're gonna be a." She said, "You're gonna be a pastor." I said, "What?" She said, "You're gonna be a pastor." I said, "What is a white lady?" And like a lot of time, every time my car breaks down, some white lady with blonde hair pulls up and goes, "You need help?" Like what the hell? Like what the hell is going on? Like how do you? Why? What's going on? Like how come every time my car breaks down, some white lady pulls up and asks me, "Do I need help?" Like this always happens and shit. So these things happen. These are soul tribe. This is soul tribe energy. I'm not saying it's the same woman, but this has been going on for well over 40 years. So that's a soul tribe member. And you got them too, is what I'm trying to tell you. So trying to help you overcome difficulty. But what's the difficulty? Well, it's Jeremiah, Scorpio. And you're in Scorpio in your 7th house of relationships is telling you that could be a difficulty. And then you have Sagittarius in your 8th house, which again is a higher teacher. And that's going to be like a higher teacher that's really good in 8th house stuff, which is all about tarot cards and astrology and all the stuff you hear me talk about, and even more. And then Neptune is going to help you with your dreams. And if you look at all those twos, you got 222, which I know we looked up before, and that's a twin flame number 22. But you got 22 and 2, 22 2 or 3 twos, 222, which is another high number. And Neptune is definitely your subconscious mind, your dreams, and also it could be escapism. But again, in the 8th house, that could also have to do with your readings, because you could be helping people heal, because healing is escaping too. So remember that. So that Leo energy is really helping you do that, whoever that Leo energy is. So then I said, is the Virgo and the Taurus the same male? And then Raphael came and said, breathe correctly to release old energies. And then I wrote down health and Virgo, because Raphael deals with health and Virgo. But see, your whole thing is Virgo, your 6th house and all that. It's all about healing. And then I asked again, is the Virgo energy and the Leo energy the same male? And then this is when Jophiel came up. So Jophiel is going to take you anywhere where you see Libra on your chart, or anywhere where your 7th house. And see, that's your Scorpio too, because there's Pluto. And then you got Lilith, and then you got the Vertex. So this is still about relationship. And Jophiel came up both times. So your 7th house and Jophiel, both of them are together. So this is all about healing and everything I said about Scorpio. But she said, clear your place, clear any clutter, and she told you to practice Feng Shui. Now, Feng Shui is all about how to place stuff in your house or wherever you may live, and you may want to look into that. But that's Feng Shui, because you're like, every room has to be done a certain way. Like you can't, like you know how you have workout, like you might have exercise equipment, and you can't just be anywhere. It has to be in a certain room. So that's Feng Shui if you ever want to get into that. But that's all about energy. And then Jophiel came up again. So this is how you know this. I asked about the Virgo and the Leo male. And then Jophiel came up again with Libra energy. And she told you patience. But she also is outside gardening with that. So they're trying to teach you to be patient. So you gotta really learn how to trust these readings. You gotta be doing your own readings. Maybe calling out to the Archangels, because that's when Raphael said breathe. He said, and Raphael came out earlier too. I just got to find out where he came out. It might have been when you asked about your husband, the ex. No, I don't see him. Let me see. Wait a minute. Nope. Because Raphael did come out and tell you to call on your angels. Health, diet, exercise. All right, I'm just trying to find it. Give me a moment. Because I'm pretty sure it came out. Otherwise, Breathe correctly. Yeah, I know that card, but it's another one. All right, give me a moment. Health, diet, exercise. So that's the elf card. Breathe correctly. Angel therapy. Yeah, I just didn't type Raphael, but here it is. It's sweet, you know, but let me tell you how they found you. Now this is how powerful this stuff is, because I forgot to type Raphael, but they did this for a reason. Now this is how I found it. I used my find command, but it still didn't say Raphael because I forgot to type Raphael. But guess what? In the word therapy, his name is right there, R-A-P-H, and that's what I put in. So I need you to really listen. That's why I said you can't rush through this stuff, and it's not a joke. Like, the only joke is on these people that keep playing. Let's just be honest for a second. I'm only talking to honest people, because if you're not honest, you ain't going to get it. You have people out here on YouTube that are spending tons and tons of money going to people that are talking to them like they're little children, even though they're grown-ass adults, and they don't want to deal with reality. They don't want to deal with maturity. They want to deal with bubblegum astrology. So they keep spending all this money and all this resources, but they're still not with their twins. And what you got to understand is you got a lot of these people are sleeping around and all this other crap, but that's how you get diseases. On real talk, because we're talking about Raphael deals with health. Okay, Raphael deals with health. Okay, and this is why they're doing this. This is why they're doing this. Because even, like, the person might be listening right now, they could be hard-headed, and they could go sleep with somebody, and the next thing you got to go see the doctor, like Kumo D said. See, this is why this happened. I hope you guys are listening. Because Raphael's name is in therapy. R-A-P-H. Because you're not supposed to be sleeping around. And you're supposed to trust the archangels and trust the universe to get you what you need. But you have to humble yourself. And most people ain't going to do it. Because the West has taught you to be arrogant. You got a great job. You got a great car. You got a great house, great home, great condo, whatever. Great. You got money, so you think you're God. Your ego has caused you to believe that you think you're God. He God. He go. Ego, G-O, God, G-O-D. So this is why the name got forgotten, Raphael, and this is how I found it this way. Because Raphael is trying to tell you. Because that was the last question. And I said, please advise her on her relationship search. And this is why they're talking directly to her. And that was Raphael. He said angel therapy. He said, don't worry. Trust the angels. See, you're supposed to be getting readings. Whether you're doing your own readings or whatever you're doing. See, even though you have a great secular job, don't forget that you also have great spiritual gifts. So please advise her on her relationship search. The Raphael said, angel therapy. Don't worry. Ask the archangels to help and trust the archangels to help you. And then Jeremiah went, again, Scorpio, all as well. In other words, they're telling you, because they already told you, because I told you what's going on your 7th house and why. And if you really take this seriously, you're going to know why, because now you can understand how other men are seeing you as well. And don't be like my girlfriend. Don't be like my ex-girlfriend. Do not you dare tell me it's not other men, it's just you. No, it's not. And she did come back and apologize. Like, I get notes all the time, people apologizing to me. I got a lot of people that betrayed me recently. Because they're all on this new bandwagon where you don't do shit. You just go to a woman, she prays for you, or some spirit helps you. But who is that spirit that's helping you? So what, you got more money in your bank account? You may have to pay for that with eternity in hell. Who's the spirit bringing you this stuff? Who are you dealing with? But these people were always lazy. I know them personally. I've known some of these people for over 4 years. We've been out here since 2014 together, most of these people. And they got to know to try to knife me in the back. But I'm used to it. I'm used to it. But karma's going to get you, motherfucker. No, let me stop. All right. So there you go. Raphael. One of the last questions I asked, and they told you to take this stuff seriously, make sure you work on it. Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, Archangels. Now, the 2 questions on your ex. You asked a question, and you asked this question before, but this is the update, because you wanted to ask the same questions again, so we did. But I made sure we got to the answer, that Leo energy. So that Leo energy is like that Leo energy is working with your higher self, and his job is to help you in all those ways I told you. To see clearly, to see yourself as other people see you because you're intimidating them. But I don't feel bad because I do the same thing. And how you can get past that and how you can make your 7th house really great, because right now it's going to be a lot of controversy in the 7th house. Now you ask, will your ex be able to move on without you? And Haniel came again, the high priestess, but she came with the 3 doves. And she said, know the moon cycles. Now, why is she telling you to know the moon cycles? Because you can actually vanquish people with the moon cycles. So if you can do research, you can find it. You can ask research. You can ask me. I can do it for research. But you have to know there's certain moon cycles. You right now are under a full moon. But there's a moon cycle that you use to banish people that are no longer need to be in your life. Like they don't need to be in your life all the time. Because if it's really over, it's really over. But that's why Michael told you have to really, you can't play games. You can't be bouncing around and then playing a victim card, because a lot of females do that. You can't do that. Be mature enough to deal with it, like Michael told you. Because only then, when you deal with maturity, your life will get better because you're dealing with maturity. But now the Leo card came up again. Raziel came up and said clairvoyance. So you had that gift of clairvoyance. So you want to make sure, because that Leo energy is strong, trying its best to help you. The Leo energy is your friend. All right. And Raziel, he's the elder. He's the oldest archangel. But he's ancient wisdom. But nobody can mess with him. But Leo is always going to be fierce. If you just be honest. Even if y'all know Durga. Like, if you didn't know it, Hindu. Do you know Hindu? India? That's Durga. Durga rides on a lion. And she destroys all evil. And evil was so powerful. None of the other gods could destroy this evil that had become so powerful. So then she was created. Durga was created, and she rides on either a lion or a tiger, and she destroys the evil. So if y'all never watched those videos on YouTube, you can go check it out. So Archangel Raphael, clairvoyance, says, I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. So that love you want, you'll get it. But you also got to know your spiritual gifts too. And you got to take this stuff seriously. It can't be something you get back to. No, this is not a sales pitch. Believe me, if it was, I'd be charging a lot more higher price. And all I would do is what everybody else does. Come out and talk to grown-ass adults like they're little-ass children. Just talk about love and it's coming, and the divine masculine is calling you, and the divine feminine is calling you, and Venus is in your 7th house, and all that other bull they say to get these people's money. But these people, well, they don't really get the money. What they get is they still waiting for the twin, or they're waiting for the unification, and they just start sleeping around because they get frustrated. And not just lie to you and say, oh, okay, it's okay. Oh, no, you have to sleep around because you're learning from that. So, no, that's disgusting. Sleeping around is disgusting, people. I'm sorry. That's why all these people are dying. All the stuff's going on now on our planet. And people still not doing anything about it. You don't know where that person's been. You don't know who they slept with. You got to be careful. That's why people are dying, and we don't talk about that either. So let's stop the foolishness. Let's get back to real astrology and stop all that marketing, bubblegum astrology bull stuff. Because I told you, when you're blowing all those bubbles, it's just going to go pop in your face. All right, here we go. So we're going to ask the question again. Will your ex be able to move on without you? The high priestess said the only way he's going to move on is for you to use your moon energy. Just like the Power Rangers. You got to use moon energy. You got to learn how to vanquish stuff because it may not move on. And Michael also told you about being clairvoyant because they'll be also showing you. And they're going to be showing you spiritual love, the real love. The real love. This is what Leo's trying to do for you through clairvoyance. Now, Metatron is Virgo again. There go that Virgo energy again. And he said he'll help you. Prioritize and he will help you. So you'll have Virgo energy that's trying to help you, but you got to be honest. Like Michael said, you got to know what you really want to work on, and he'll be working on it. And remember, Virgo energy is going to help you prioritize, but it's also going to help you heal. And guess what? There goes Libra. So that's what they're telling you. See, your Libra's in your 6th house because your 6th house is about service and healing. So when you're serving people with your spiritual gifts, you will be healing. And then there you go to Aries too, whatever we said about Aries, because that's your 12th house. See, your 6th house is opposite your 12th house because it's all about service. So you got to become more want to use your gifts to help and serve and help people. And you'll get healing yourself. And then that vertex cross will also help you get a real relationship as well. And remember, Lilith wants to be loved. So Lilith is not going to do her part unless a part like Adam said, let me lay down so I can lay on top of you. And Lilith said, no, you lay down so I can lay on top of you. So Lilith is not going to do her part unless you're helping her as well. And then she'll do her part. And Lilith, a lot of people don't know how powerful Lilith is. But Lilith is one of the most powerful entities that's on your natal chart, whether you know that or not. All right. So there you have it. Kitty move on without you, not without the moon. And you can't spell move without the M-O, and that's the moon. And Raziel will also help you increase your powers as well by giving you advice and teaching you. And then Metatron also said, I'll help you. You got to get your priorities straight. So again, you might have a problem with focus. Focus. So you got to get your priorities straight. So your answer is, if he's still around, it's because you're letting him be around. Either you're maybe one way, whatever, double talking or whatever, not being focused like Michael told you to be, or you're not being strong and getting him up out of there, And that's one thing that Veronica does. She shows you how to do stuff like that. I just tell people to be careful when you're dealing with spirits, because you don't know who you're dealing with, and you got to understand, once you let them in, it's hard to get them out. Dealing with archangels is one thing, but I've been dealing with the archangels for everything beautiful. Because before that, I was dealing with tarot cards long before. Long before, like around 2011, I was dealing with tarot cards. And I had to stop that. For me, I'm not saying for everybody else, but for me, I had to stop it. And from 2011, I was in a, I was shut down from 2011 to 2014. Then when my twin flame came, she caused me so much drama that I started looking again. And that's when I found Doreen Virtue. And I always was allowed to use the Archangel cards. And that's what I use to this day. They're my family. So it is what it is. But I always do what Spirit tells me to do. And Spirit being the universe or God. Okay. So now you ask, why is your ex always coming around? Ariel said, well, now this one you better listen to. Because the prosperity card came. So somebody may be making money off the situation. But or if he's not making money off of you, then they're telling you could actually make money off the situation. Because if he should be moving on, he shouldn't be coming around. So you may have to do what you need to do to make money off the situation. Because I'm sure you can. Because I know you know law. So you can know what to do. Second card, Sandalphon, came out. Pisces said victory. Your prayers are answered. So maybe he's coming around because the universe is setting him up so you can make some money off the situation. Because there's nothing wrong with that, especially if he made your life a living hell, which I'm pretty sure he did. And then there go your Leo card again. So notice how both times you asked about your ex, the Leo card came. Raziel came back and he said, take back your power. Because, I mean, you're acting like you got no power. You got power. Because he shouldn't be coming around. If y'all ain't together and you're trying to move on with somebody else and it's over, it's a done deal. It's over. He's got to learn to let go. And he's not going to learn how to let go if you keep letting him come around. Just like any other bully. A bully's going to bully you until you stop letting him bully you. So you can use that moon energy to banish him. And Raziel Leo is telling you to use clairvoyance. Make sure you're tapping into your psychic energy, your extrasensory perceptive energy. And then he said that's the way you take back your power. Sandalphon is telling you, listen, your prayers have been answered, but you got to receive it. Because otherwise you're just going to keep on allowing yourself to be a victim. Oh, why? Woe is me. No, you got to be a Leo is lion energy. They need you to tap into your Durga. Get rid of that evil. Get rid of that evil. Look at the video today. Go right on to YouTube. Durga defeats evil. Durga and the lion and Durga and the tiger. She's an inspiration for me. Guess who taught me about my Durga? Was my soulmate that I used to work with. And I think me and her had some type of father-daughter stuff going on from a past life. But it was her just dealing with her energy. Like, she never told me with her mouth, but her energy taught me about. And guess what? Like, I was scared when I first got there. Because I was real sick. When I started this job, I was sick, and then I got sicker because my doctor misprescribed and made me. Leo's been getting their asses kicked for about 2 years. So I was mad because I'm a Leo. I never want to not be the best. All right, so I had to learn how to climb up this ladder. Like when I first saw that ladder, I was like, man, I'm not gonna climb up that ladder. And not only do you have to climb up that ladder, but you got to carry this heavy ass box down. I was like, man, I can't carry that heavy ass box down. I can't climb that ladder, and I can't climb that box. So the one day when I finally did it, which was one of my best days in there, was when I climbed up that ladder and carried this heavy ass box down off my shoulder because I saw some other guy do it, so I tried to do it. So I did it, and guess who was at the end of the box with that soulmate? She was at the end of the ladder, was that soulmate. So she really helped me. Like, she helped me. In fact, I had to be extremely strong when I got there. That's why I'm still working there. That's why I've never been fired, because I wasn't fighting. Like, I wasn't fighting, but I had some energy off of her. Like, the energy that my soulmate was transmitting to me was saying, don't back down. Don't let these people bully you. Tell these people exactly what it is. So I went and told those people, bam, bam, bam. And I know the law. So I was like, man, bam, bam. And I just told it like it is. It's not my fault, man. I'm doing the best I can do. So I went in. But that's why my boss respects me to this day, because I wouldn't back down. Like, I really wanted to, like I told him, I really want to work there. But you got to understand, I got some shit I'm dealing with that I got to overcome with my health. And I will overcome it. I said, but you got to give me time. But you're not just going to bully me and treat me like I said, I'm doing the best. I went off. And that was like, that's when I like her. It was like my soulmate, because when I came out that office, I could feel her energy. Like, she was sending me energy, whether she knew it or not. But we always knew, like, me and her were always connected. But we always had a strange relationship, like a lot like the relationship I had with my twin. But the difference between me and her got past. Like, we could talk to each other. With my twin, me and my twin never got past it. Me and my twin could never ever have a conversation ever. We would try, either one of us. Like, I would try, she would reject it. She would try, I would reject it. We could never get past it. Even when I tried, something would always go wrong. But that's how twin flame is. But again, if you really want it to work, don't give up on it, and just trust that your twin does want to talk to you. But they, if they may need to grow up, because this is past life pain, and you two have hurt each other through decades, and I mean through lifetimes and lifetimes. You've hurt each other, and that's why it's so hard. But you can get past it. All right. So that's what's going on for you. So the Leo energy is helping you, but you gotta listen. So if you don't listen, then you're gonna get karma, like you didn't listen. So that Leo energy is there to help you get everything that you want, but you gotta listen. So that was the whole part of this reading that you just heard. And again, let's look at your chart before we do this. And if anybody, again, this chart should be available. It should be public, but again, because it is the full moon, a lot of this is for clients. So clients get to see full moon readings and stuff like that. But you may not get to see the full moon reading until sometime after the full moon, because, again, you're not a client or you're not giving back. But a lot of people are benefiting from the information, but they're not giving back. So you can still donate. It's something you could do in the universe. Everything I'm telling you is from the universe. Believe me. It's not just me, because if I wanted to do it, I have enough clients to close down and just work with my clients. I'm still doing public because I'm trying to help people. But the bottom line is, in order for this to work for you, you will have bad karma if you're constantly taking and never giving back. You're benefiting from the information, but you're not giving back. So you should always give some type of donation, because you're taking. That's a universal fact. So that's how that works. And I do what the universe tells me to do. And for people to think they get away with it, you don't get away with it. This is why your 12th house is about endings. You're going to pay for everything you failed to do. And like I said, a lot of you guys don't believe in stuff. But you should know stuff like I told you all about Durga. Durga knows about hell, because she actually went there to fight, to defeat the guy that was running hell. So they know about it. Everybody knows about hell. Anybody that has any sense knows about hell. Hell is real, and it is for people who just do what they want to. They don't bring themselves in harmony with the natal chart. They don't bring themselves in harmony with the universal responsibility while you're here. These are people that got to answer for that at the end. So that's what this is all about. And my job is trying to help you. So like right now, you see the lion trying to help her, but she's got to listen to that Leo energy, because the lion is trying to help her. Just like the lion helps Durga defeat evil. All this stuff is universal and metaphysical. You got to learn it. Stop thinking you're smarter than God. Stop thinking you're smarter than people God sent. Stop thinking you're smarter than the universe, because you're going to pay. All right. So that's it. So yeah, I wanted to look where Leo energy is at on her chart again. In her 4th house, which is the family, but also Juno, serious relationship in her true north node. So she definitely has a true north node connection with a Leo, because it is Juno, and Juno is a relationship. But right now, for whatever reason, this energy is just helping her become stronger. So I think in a way, you're not really going to tap into this energy until you tap into your spiritual calling, like when you really tap into it. Because even when it said teaching and learning, so you really got to tap into that energy. And then Leo rules your 5th house as well. And then there's Virgo there. So we said a lot about your Virgo. So it's almost like this Leo energy, because I saw it on another chart. This Leo energy is sending you the target, because even your Taurus is with Leo. Is with the Sun, and the Sun rules Leo. So it's almost like the Leo energy is actually sending you the Taurus. It's sending you the Virgo energy to heal you, but it's sending you the Taurus energy. But the Leo energy is not necessarily going to make itself known yet, and I think it's not really going to make itself known until you really start to excel with your Scorpio gifts. Because guess what? 23 is Leo. That's 5. 5 is the 5th house ruled by Leo. So that's what it's looking like to me. So there you have it. So it's hidden, but it wants you to know it's there. Like it's almost like telling you, that Leo energy is telling you, you and I are going to have a serious relationship. You and I are going to be together, but not yet. But I don't want you to know. I want you to know I exist, but we're not going to connect just yet. That's what I'm getting. And the same thing happened with Thomas More, who's a friend of mine. He's an Aquarius, and we're about to have an Aquarius full moon because him and his twin stayed separated for a while, and he went through all kind of different signs. He went through Leo, he went through Cancer, he went through he even went through Gemini, and Gemini was the last straw because the Gemini tried to kill him. The Gemini was on medication and was crazy, and he's got this on video. She's threatening to kill him, and she's walking around with knives and stuff. She really was trying to kill him, so he had to get rid of her. I told him quick. I said, man, get rid of her. She's nuts. You better get her out of there because she's gonna kill you. She's telling you she's gonna kill you. She'll kill you in your sleep. And she told him, and we got the video. So I'm not making this shit up. And all y'all got to do is go on my channel. You see him now. You see him standing next to his twin because they got back together after the Gemini, and they're standing next to the Buddha on my channel. So that's Thomas More, and that's his twin. His twin was one of the biggest master teachers on YouTube ever, and she's a friend. Like I think she was like my sister in a previous life because me and her got like a brother and sister relationship. So it's right on my channel right there. So you know I'm not making this stuff up. So I know what I'm talking about. If you're smart, you listen to somebody like me who's an expert, and you get your shit together. You stop going with your ego because you're only hurting yourself, and you're going to pay for it because you're hard-headed. You're like these people that just keep taking and never get back. They're going to pay for it because they're hard-headed. The universe is going to spank your ass. And what you have to realize, let me tell you, I've been doing this for decades, how your universe works. When you are an adult and you fail to do what you're supposed to, the universe doesn't always attack you. It attacks like your children. Sometimes it attacks your firstborn. This is facts. It's not me trying to hurt your feelings. I'm telling you this so you don't get hurt. But people are so cheap and so hard-headed that they're going to do it anyway until they finally get it. So that's it for now. That's it for this one. I will be back with the full moon and the her chart. But again, that will be accessible for those who are clients or those who request it, or even people who requested their own full moon reading. Those are the people that can see stuff like this. And you won't be able to see it for a while because it's unfair to people that actually give. And there's people out here that never gave, they just take. So the universe is going to get them. Karma is going to get them. Bad things going to happen to them. This is facts. Not because I'm telling you because I want to hurt your feelings. It's facts because that's how the universe works. And if you don't know how the universe works, how the hell are you on a channel like mine stealing information when you should be learning from a channel like mine so you would know what not to do? Okay, I'm done. God bless.